Hello, stream.
Hello, Darren and Neil are busy typing at each other in secret, so we're gonna run the stream today.
Yes, it's our game now. Our city now.
Amy, you're DMing, I don't want to.
Cool. So we win. That's the first thing
cool.
that happens.
Do we get a level?
You get all of the levels.
Oh my god, I'm level 20. Hang on, I'm gonna need like 10 minutes to just level up my character sheet. Hang on.
I'll give you a 7.
Fine, yeah, that's acceptable. So what are we doing now? Well, after we defeated the Hand of Yuria and the Order, we killed Laureate. Tom Flinton regained his sanity, and is now the king of Yuria.
Nice moment.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah.
possible. It's just people don't care about it.
Oh, you're back. Hey.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Hey, Darren, you missed it. We just got level 20 and beat all the bad guys.
It was very good.
That's quite the fucking escort quest. We better grind a few levels out of that one.
Yeah, yeah, we did. We got a lot of levels.
We just went to the forest and like killed boars for like 15 years.
Yeah, we just grind. Yeah, it was just real XP grind.
It's like those fucking like World of Warcraft services. You pay like €80 and like some nameless like person plays in your character for 1,000 years. Right, let's fucking do this thing, because it's my internet being weird.
Yes, Darren?
I mean, yes, are we live?
Yeah, we're ready. We've been live for a while now.
Oh, that's always good to fucking know. I'm so glad
I said we went live! I said we're live now! Me and Amy are gonna run the stream.
Heard none of it. So when we last left our heroes, we were escorting the Darrows across the universe to Boria. We had a nice little random encounter. Darren also said his net was going so mad, Laura. So maybe listen. Thanks, Neil. That was genuinely really nice of you to point out. I appreciate that. But yeah. So Esme, what are you doing?
Esme leaves the house and rolls up her sleeves and says, well, if they can't be trusted to do a simple task, I'll go and do it myself. And she walks to talk to Kazura.
Ooh, nice. Does Esme wait for Dave, or is Esme flying solo on this fateful day?
She'll wait.
Like, it's like, the morning of, like Esme and Dave had breakfast. It's a case of like, the prompt is like, do you want this NPC to accompany you on this mission? That sort of thing pops up. So, like, if you want to fly solo, you can, but it's a case of, like, if Esme asks Dave, then Dave will accompany him.
Esme's 100% bringing Dave. She's just like, I need someone who can tell if someone is lying better than I can. So, are you cool with this?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So this is what's going to happen. We're going to find out if she's a real double agent or a potential, and she does the little side mouth talking things where it's like, or someone who could be a triple agent. And if she's a baddie, we're going to kill her.
Neil, it's not Metal Gear Solid. She is not a triple agent.
That means she's a quadruple agent. But
wait, I thought Kazura was a man.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Let me consult my
Who cares?
Oh yep, human male.
My apologies. We're going to kill him if he is a baddie, and if he's not, we're going to tell him to ship up, or shape up or ship out, and then we have to go and see 2 other people whose names I forget, but I will check my notes now in a second. How's that?
Joranna Tinklefoot and Chibek Nanja.
Cool. We'll go to Tinklefoot second. Cool. Does that sound good to you, David?
Yeah, sure thing, Esmeralda.
He did. Like, Esme's turn. Like, Darren, is it still Dave? Is it a different Dave?
It was more like David, and he was like Esmeralda.
It's just two of Risbit's goblin goons dressed in like a big.
No, it's your man from fucking Hot Fuzz. Like, one brother has slick back hair and the other one just has curly hair, but it's the same actor. It's just like, nobody tells me nothing. But yeah, Dave's like, pulls his hood up and he's like, lead on.
Oh god, sorry, my light just went out. No, it's back.
Then she steps outside, rolls up her sleeves and says, Cool, let's go.
I was really hoping you were going to announce that, and he's just going to be like, who are you talking to?
Like, shush, Dave, it's for dramatic effect. I was like, okay, I think we need to go to the slums.
The
Okay,
Teen
sorry.
Titans. Oh, no, it's cool. Yeah, okay, Amy, you're not getting attacked by monsters.
If I am, I'll let you know.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, that's fair. I'll throw salt at my microphone to like go through. But yeah, the Teen Titans theme song starts playing because I was gonna say Batman, but like I'm in the mood for some Teen Titans because that show was fucking mint. But yeah, how are you doing it? Are you sneakily? You just going? If you're sneaking, give me stealth and survival. If you're not sneaking, give me survival.
She won't sneak through the city. She's more just she'll get a bit closer to his location, and then just tell me what the location looks like, and then pick.
Yeah, cool. Give me that survival check. But
You okay, Amy?
Yeah, no, sorry. The connection for the light is bad, so it just keeps coming and going, and I don't know if it's worth trying to keep it on.
do you want us to like pause while you?
Oh no, it's not. It's not going to affect the computer at all. Don't worry
It's
about
just spooky flickering lights.
it. Yeah. So now I have to deal with that.
We have to go do
Go
a
on.
spooky thing.
Just do what I do when like shit.
Where? Oh man, there's your spooky thing.
When trouble you know.
Who to call?
Esme slips from the rooftops, but Dave catches her. Like loses her footing. It's like, oh, you're getting rusty in your old age, Miss Niall.
Says, yes, Dave, I'm old now. She's just like, it's been 800 years since I last walked on the roofs of Yuria.
Didn't she have a mask to make her into an old lady?
Yep.
Oh my god!
Put it on. Like she falls off the roof and comes back up with like the mask on, and she's like, "I'm
No.
old and decrepit."
I'm gonna save that for a different thing now in a few minutes, but yeah. She says thank you though. She's like, thank you. That was scary and dangerous. I think, and she like points in a direction. I was like, I think it's over there.
He's like, okay, that's fair. The duo, like, you know, proceed, descend, flip over rooftops. Very stylish. It's very nice. Coda, Isidora, and Risbet, who's not joining us tonight because he's a busy boy and he's rest. And the Darrows, but they're NPCs, so they're just not going to answer. That'd be weird.
Hello.
D100, please, Isidora.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh boy.
More dinosaurs. More dinosaurs.
34.
Let me fight a T-Rex with my gun.
You keep saying that, and it's gonna happen, and we don't have our tank this week.
I'm the best tank.
You're not.
Amy, he's a fighter. It's okay.
Yes, he's fine.
He's the strongest boy. What's Isidora's strength again?
Better than yours. It's...
Fucking roasted. Holy fuck.
I can't see my sheet. The light's gone. 14.
Okay, yeah, it's better than mine.
That seems fake.
That's a lot better than mine. Yes.
Oh god. What
Do
now?
tell.
Amy, please roll again.
Just another D100?
Yes, please, friend.
Was the first
We
one
don't
too
want to touch
ridiculous?
Oh no, it was quite literally a T-Rex.
Oh my god, well, give me a T-Rex!
Isadora, Coda, nameless NPCs. Can I have a dex
Excuse me.
save, please?
I don't know what we've
Well,
done.
the first time we rolled we got a T-Rex, but then we re-rolled, so we don't know what we've got now.
Sorry, hold on.
No, you know.
Oh, are you
Oh,
kidding
is
me?
he?
Oh god, what's that now?
As you guys descend into the area that, like you know, Boria is probably like a day's ride away at this point. The ground shakes and you see the clouds are darkened as a tornado flies through. Well, not flies, slowly crosses the land, ripping up, really, really far out outer forests, or not forests, sorry, farmlands and probably abandoned shacks at this rate because they're quite far away from the city. The debris flies through the air. Coda takes refuge under it, behind trees, followed swiftly by Risbit and the Darrows. As Isidora is following suit, a very, very large stray piece of wood, probably from a barn, perhaps,
Gets beaten in the noggin.
strikes her in the back of the head, knocking her prone and dealing 10 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I'll go out and help her up. That's awful.
In the distance, there is a soft cackling heard along the wind.
Oh my god, is this actually Wizard of Oz?
Actually, can I have a perception check, friend?
Yes.
Oh god, above. Perception.
What do I formerly Elvi see?
That's not ideal.
Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
that is actually okay. Never mind. I take it all
Pretty
back.
ideal.
In the distance, above, near the tornado, near the top of it, a speck. You can't quite make out much shapes, but you see a individual cackling, and you can't help but notice that the white shawl / dress this individual does wear seems oddly familiar as it passes by.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Do we have to roll history or anything to see if we can remember putting an exact name on this
You
individual? Oh.
Well, Coda, Isidora, best break out those wellies, those coats, those umbrellas, because it looks like a rainy day is a-coming.
Does she look like she's moving away from us or toward, is she just passing by?
It's straight up she just floating on by, living her best life.
I'm going to call for her. Rain!
As Isidora says
No!
that, it just
Wind!
cracks. It just cracks across the sky and it starts pouring. Everyone in the immediate vicinity is soaked to the skin.
Rain!
It picks up even more.
What the
You've
fuck is
discovered
her
a new
problem?
power. You shout rain and it rains.
It's like Macbeth. But yeah, she cannot seem to hear you as the storm around her, including the literal tornado to her right, is most likely muffling you away. But, people take shelter, and unless you want to physically run towards the eye of the tornado.
No, fuck her.
Yeah, no, that's fair. This storm, takes about an hour, but it passes eventually.
And when it passes, does she also pass?
Oh yeah, she's flying, floating almost, not flying, speeding, perpendicular to the tornado.
It's probably for the best, really.
That's not how I expected to meet her again. And if she's a little closer next time, she's gonna get a smack.
She's not my biggest fan. I'd rather not.
Wait, what did you do to her?
She really hated me because I shot a man.
We're in the middle of a war. You can shoot whoever you want.
She took exception to it.
Yeah, well, too bad. What a witch. Kicks over a rock.
The rock falls, rolls, and like kind of lands in the same upright position it was before Isidora kicked it. Esme!
Yes, Darren.
Also, by the way, while this whole thing was happening, the light is completely dead, and my mum had to come in with the light, so I've been wrestling with that as well.
If it starts to rain or storm outside, you know who's coming.
You know what you've done.
She can try.
Hashtag new creepypasta fresh out the oven, boys. Oh, Jesus. Esme, you come upon a town. Flavor Town. Before you is a large building.
It's time for divers driving to die.
I'm about to try Yuri's biggest sandwich. Topped with jalapenos, cheddar cheese, and a duck.
She even has the white hair for it. She could be Guy Fieri.
Oh god. Oh my god, Esme's whole head is just frosted tips.
Esme Fieri.
Esme, you come upon a building with Dave at your side. You're kind of ground level. Well, actually, no. I'm going to say you're still up on the buildings because it's up to your choice how you want to approach the building. But before you is kind of a building that looks like... It just looks like kind of a nice building. There's no kind of like discernible features out the front. Like, is it a shop? Is it a... Like, it might just kind of look like a house that's in the middle of a city in between, like, apartments, you know, that sort of thing. But, yeah, like, the windows, the curtains are drawn. I'm going to say it's about like 10 in the morning now by the time it takes you to get there, especially with the wand, that sort of thing. I'm going to say you set off around like, 8:30, early rider and all that, early bird gets to worm, etc. But yeah, you guys press on, and before you is this building. The curtains are drawn. It doesn't look kind of dusty or old or decrepit or abandoned. It just looks like a building that hasn't woken up yet. How would you like to proceed? Like, like from the notes, this is the address, the building that Kazura is apparently staying in, or at least owns / chills out, and you don't know, but this is their name, this building. What would you like to do?
She's gonna check around the back to see if there's a back door.
Can I have an athletics check? It's a case of like the building you're on it's across the street, that sort of thing. There is an alleyway on the left that might connect. It might just bring her down an alleyway, that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Chill athletics.
Wow. It's making up for that nat 1.
It's because my spiritual witch is out fucking assaulting towns. But
it's not evil. Or I didn't kill them, officer. It was the tornado.
Ma'am, you summoned the tornado. It's like, prove it.
What are you gonna do? Arrest me? It's like, yes, that's literally what we're gonna do.
Magic
What are you
police,
gonna
throw
do
it down.
when I arrest the storm?
It's the vegan scene from Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, exactly.
Magic
Killing
police.
people with magic was illegal?
Summoning tornadoes isn't illegal. It's milk and eggs.
Well,
Okay.
magic, bitch!
Oh, I want Thomas Jane to show up and shoot someone with a laser in my game. For fuck's sake. Sweet. Oh, I love Thomas Jane. He's a great actor. Anyway, Esme, you find a piece of rope that seems to be attached to another building at an angle for absolutely no reason apart from the fact that Esme straight up like skateboard slides down it because it's a nat 20. And like, she flips off, and Esme holds, or not Esme, sorry, Dave holds up like a 10 card. But yes, there before you is a alleyway. It looks like it kind of just more leads to another alleyway. It doesn't necessarily lead to, like, say, a back garden or anything. From what you can tell from this angle, anyway.
How busy is the street?
It's fine. It doesn't. It's not. It's kind of like down, like just like maybe like a street that would just purely use for housing, so it's not kind of like shops, so it's not particularly busy. Like one or two people are just kind of strolling, minding their own business, sort of just like talking, or clearly got somewhere to go. They're either coming or going from their dwellings, that sort of thing. But it's kind of more like an accommodation street, more so than like a busy, like, oh, this is where people walk through to get to the shop, that sort of thing.
Esme says, David.
He responds through the ring, yeah. Yes.
Sorry, I'm just checking something.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. I'd like to point out that when that tornado was going, like every few seconds, people could just see a T-Rex's head sticking out of it, like flailing around. Like, oh, Sharknado versus Tyrannosaurus Rexinado. I'd watch it.
I'd watch it. I'd watch the shit out of it. I'm watching it right now. Sci-fi made you. Sci-fi heard you say it, and then they made it.
Right.
That's how fast they work. Yeah.
Esme just says, Dave, would it be possible for you to kind of like use your powers to make it so people just aren't looking at us? Because I'm just gonna try and open this door with a lockpick so we don't have to announce we're coming in, and then we're gonna threaten some people. But
yeah, he like as you're saying that, he's kind of like, you know, just kind of climbing down the building off the like on the side, so like he kind of lands in an alleyway sort of thing and comes out. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to concentrate on us. So like if somebody like gets the jump on us, I won't notice because I kind of have to be concentrating in this little kind of like hiding us spell.
Yeah.
But it's doable. Yeah.
Once we're inside, you can drop it and focus on. Well, you don't have to focus on that, but I just need to. I prefer not to have anyone able to alert the guards on this.
Yeah, that's fair. He like puts his hand on your shoulder and like as you when you turn around to like kind of like if Esme's gonna like pick this lock, kind of like turns around to face the. I'm assuming it's the front door you're speaking of.
Yeah, she's just gonna.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. No, like when Esme turns to face the front door and is about to crouch down, kind of just places a hand on her shoulder, and like you know her shoulder kind of like tenses, not tenses, but like she kind of feels like a rush of energy, and like you can see Dave's like those weird like tendrily hair things with the like weird lights at the end, kind of like glow, and his eyes glow. And he's like, okay, like no one looking down here will see us, but like hurry, like this is a kind of like a big juice drainer sort of thing.
Yeah. She's like, yep, this shouldn't take long. I'm going to open that door.
Coda.
Yes.
Coda.
Yes.
Coda.
Yes.
Do what of it.
Ah!
How close are we to Boria?
Like this is like the night. If you sleep tonight, you'll wake up and then like travel for an hour and you'll be grand.
53.
If you sleep tonight.
Yeah. That's a big if.
Reader beware, you're in for a scare. Oh, I say that. I don't have any lights.
Go.
What?
Go switch on a light. Go like you go right now.
The connection is broken.
Do
Like
you
the
have
light
can't.
work.
She's just
do you have
sitting
any
there.
like like?
I got a tiny one. I got a tiny desk lamp. Fine.
Okay, that's fair. I was gonna say, do you have any like mood lights?
Whinging. I'm just whinging.
That's hashtag fucking relatable. Coda, in the distance you doth spy a majestic beast.
Ooh.
Standing in the farms, as you're like kind of taking watch, you're kind of like, you know, as the sun's just about to drop and like your dark vision would take over kind of thing, like Coda's kind of like, you know, Coda's 100% pissing against a tree. And he's just like, you know, his gaze,
Wow.
like, he's just like, gosh, oh, I'm sorry, is he above pissing against a tree? Like, fuck me.
No, I just, you know, it's fine.
Yeah, no, he's beauty, he's grace, he's pissing in this tree's face. His gaze turns slightly to the right. He's just like, God, I am a free man at this moment. And oh yeah, it doesn't sound like it's fine at all. We're gonna get a strongly worded letter to the office.
He's nervous because he doesn't want his parents to.
I mean,
I have performance anxiety. In the field, the cornfield, you do spy a majestic horse-like being with wings on its side.
is it doing anything?
No, Laura, you just spy a mighty steed that just happens to have wings as well, on top of being a beautiful white horse with a blue mane.
I mean, out of character, I really want to go pet it, but I don't know. How far?
I mean,
how far away
I
is
know
it?
Coda does. Coda would 100% have to roll Arcane to
know
identify
what
it.
this thing
But
is?
equally,
I'll try
it's
rolling
certainly not
Arcane.
of this world, probably.
That's my Arcana.
What's the?
That's Arcana.
That's Arcana. Coda, you would have read about these at some point in your life, but you know it to be a Pegasus, a mighty steed of Fey-like ancestry, I believe. It is now.
I'm gonna like quietly wake up Isidora. Well, I'll finish peeing, then I'll quietly wake up Isidora.
No, sorry, it's not like Fey-ish. It's straight up celestial. It's a freaking god. Yeah, these things though. These things are like rare.
Yeah,
Rare
I'll wake up Isidora and I'll like point this thing out.
Wait, what?
That's a flying horse.
Were you dreaming?
No, I was on watch and I saw a flying horse. You should look; it's really amazing.
In the sky? And
No,
she's
it's
like
in the
getting up
field.
slowly. And she'll like follow Coda to the field like half asleep and not really believing him and then be like, holy shit, it is a flying horse!
I know, did you not believe me?
Is it hurt?
Darrows, can we see from here if it's like doing anything or if it's like, does it look hurt?
Is it moving?
Perception checks, right? It just seems to be nibbling on some grass. Probably step by for a little peck.
Are they dangerous?
Probably as dangerous as a regular horse. I don't know. It looks like it could do magic. But,
Isidore starts making like little calling noises. Yeah.
Can I try and assist?
Here, horsey.
Hey yo, flying dude. You do have advantage.
Okay.
I'm also just kind of clicking and trying to...
Oh, not great.
Yeah, you two approach it quietly, like trying to keep your calm.
Yeah.
And when you kind of get within like 15 feet of it, it kind of gets a little bit spooked, and it rears up, and its legs kick up, and the front legs kick up, and its wings expand wide and bright. It's almost like a flashlight goes off in your face, kind of thing. Like this thing, like emits like pure like light energy, and like you feel like this gust of wind, like boom, hits you as like it takes off and circles around. And as it circles around, you see like little specks, as of snow but made of light, like slowly like fall over the field. There we go. Thank you, Rain. The field, and like land softly on Coda and Izzy, and this thing like takes off into the night, and you can just see this like trail of light following from it, kind of like pixie dust, kind of like Tinkerbell style. But you see that the area that the whatchamacallit, the field. My God, my brain is fucking falling apart tonight. Where the light hit the field, you see like the corn is growing like twice as fast. Like it's kind of like richer in color and such, and it's kind of like this strip of light. And you guys feel yourselves feeling a bit better, as if like for the next 24 hours you might just have an additional like 15 temporary hit points.
Ooh. Is there like any way to like gather up what is left behind?
You can try. You like it looks like it's just like solidified light. Like it's not something Izzy would like be using, but in the sense that like that's not going to stop you or anything. It's just like you might not know how to handle it. So like it'd be a survival check to like harvest this.
Yeah, I'll try as well.
Yeah. You should like apologize quietly for spooking it. Oh.
Twinsies.
Yeah, you guys, between the two of you, you managed to feel like kind of like a glass tube with like 2 specks of it, kind of thing, like 2 specks of this light, and like when you shake it, it kind of like lights, kind of like a glow, like a nightlight kind of thing. But you'd imagine, like, you probably can hazard a guess that, like, probably sold to the right kind of scholar or, like, student of the arcane, maybe even, like, the right religious person. You could probably get a few bob for it. Like, it's literal Pegasus dust kind of thing.
Cool. Good shit.
Yeah. Esme, you hear a twist and a click, and the door opens. It is dark, dank, and it stinks to high heavens.
She just ducks her head in, gets Dave in, and closes the door behind her. She says, we'll take it quiet, scope the place out, see if we can find Kazura. So yeah, that's what they're going to do.
Cool. Yeah, Dave kind of nods. He's like, "Okay, go." And like when you guys kind of like push forward into the door, he like drops the spell and closes the door behind him. An eerie silence descends upon the house. It seems like a regular sized house, kind of like it's probably like a 2-bedroom kind of upstairs sort of thing. You're kind of in the landing. There's a staircase leading up. To the right of the staircase, continuing straight ahead, is probably like a door that you might hazard a guess goes into a kitchen. You're not too sure. There's a door to your left and a door to your right.
She'll aim for. Did you say there's 2 staircases or one?
One leading straight up, but past the staircase on the right of it, like straight down the hall, is another door.
Yeah, she's going to go up the staircase.
Cool. Yeah. As Esme ascends, she hears a crash. As of glass from the downstairs. Back room shatters.
She basically jumps down off the stairs.
Yeah, she falls over kind of thing.
Yeah, and then heads for that room.
Yeah, Dave follows suit kind of thing. Like he's kind of like he hears the noise, like, "Ugh!" And by the time he's like turning to be like, "Esme, did you hear that?" Esme's like, straight over and beeline. Esme, you push open the door with some force, I'd imagine, in your hurry. It's the kitchen. It looks like a kitchen area anyway. It stinks to high heaven. The smell of decaying flesh and like stale blood, stale air, like smashes into your nose. Leaning up against the counter, bloated, discolored, and clearly been there a while. You despite you not having doing a medicine check, you've seen enough bodies to know like this shit ain't fresh. Is a corpse with its throat gashed wide. It looks quite old. The back window in quotation, like the back window, not in quotation. The back window is to your left. The window is perfectly fine, like it's not shattered. And down the alleyway, a very thin alleyway that seems to be connected to a back garden, you can see a robed figure like pegging it. Like I mean, they are bombing ahead of. They're about like maybe 40 feet ahead of you, maybe less, or maybe more. Sorry, I apologize, misspoke. Maybe more.
She's not going to follow after them. She's going to just keep an eye. But can I roll perception or something to just kind of like get the cut of the figure, see if I can recognize it as perhaps one of the villainous nasty boys running off?
Oh, cool. Yeah. Give me a perception check, my friend.
Yep.
Dave kind of like is like, what do we do? Do we go? Do we stay?
She just puts her hand up as like, we're not going anywhere.
Esme, you can't pick out. The only thing you get from this figure is they're about maybe like from the hulking build of it, they're about 8 feet tall, maybe more. Like they're a big individual, and they're like definitely top heavy. Like kind of wide shoulders, like swinging kind of as they run. But their cloak just literally quite looks like a dyed or jet black, like a naturally black like cloth. Like the like shroud-esque magic is kind of smoky and kind of almost for show. It kind of always seems to have a magical effect when shroudy stuff happens. So you're not entirely sure if it's a shrouded nasty boy, like a shroudy boy. It seems to be just more like a hulking 8-foot figure in a black cloak with a hood up kind of thing.
Is the window isn't smashed?
No, and every window in this room is perfectly fine.
She just says it, kind like not overly loudly, but loud enough that like she won't scream it, but she'll say it at a regular tone, something to the effect of "Thanks, I guess." Hey, fuck you.
Dave kind of steps up and he's like, "You heard that sound too, right? You heard windows like glass break."
She kind of looks around. Is there any glass on the floor?
Give me an investigation check.
Yeah, I'm also going to want to investigate the dead person.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, you can give me individual rolls for each. Like the first roll is the room, second is the body.
Yeah, she'll just take over the room.
Yeah, Esme, you, but like with a 10, like nothing in the room is jumping out. There's a lot of dust. Like this place hasn't been used in a while. It's quite dusty. It's quite old, kind of grimy. Like there's a nice layer of dust on most stuff. Kind of like hasn't been used in a while. You kind of like search high and low in the room and kind of adjacent rooms. There is no shattered windows. You don't need a nat 20 to figure out that there is 100% no broken glass anywhere.
She says, "I'd bet dollars. I'd bet gold pieces that whoever that was, like, broke the window and then mended it before running off. Probably the smartest way to make sure you leave."
Dave nods and he's like, "That makes that's a solid theory. Yeah, and I got nothing better than that."
She says, "It's like I'll have another look around that now in a second. I have a theory as to who did this." She's got to start looking at the body. Does she immediately recognize this as Kazura Aistan? Like, there's only one body in there?
Yeah, 100% one corpse.
She will then just take for granted, and she doesn't really care if she's taking it for granted, but she's like, "That's probably Kazura Aistan then."
I mean, you can roll to investigate, kind of give the body a once over, but Esme just standing over it, glancing, it is indeed it looks to be a human, it looks to be a male, and it's kind of got dark hair, and a little bit of stubble, much like the dossier on him indeed said he would.
Yeah, no, she's pretty much...
Yeah, that's cool.
Assuming that. She's got to roll investigation, but it's aiming at... She's going to think about the body she and Isidora found in that church.
Yeah.
And she's going to see if she can match up Batman style the wounds that she saw on that body to the wounds on this body.
All right. Yeah, give me that roll.
Worst case scenario, if that doesn't work, she'll just try and take note and see what has happened to this person.
Yeah. Ooh.
Lovely.
Could have just featured a famine with Esme.
Esme's eyes gloss over, and she turns into a white-haired, witcher for a moment as her witcher senses activate. Esme, the throat gash is clean, and it's more calculated, more so than kind of like maybe emotional or angry, much how the Shroudy boys done away with those clerics beforehand. It was very much a crime of passion. They were enjoying it. They're like, haha, dispensing justice kind of thing. They were having fun with it. This person just straight up looks like they were just, okay, we need this individual dead across the throat. He is indeed going to bleed out. He's got no potions. Right, let's leave. You check over like the hands, the fingernails, just generally around like the neck and stuff. There's no signs of a struggle. Even the room doesn't look messed up. Whoever did this, he probably knew them / trusted them. To the point where he didn't hey, get off me, why are you breaking into my home, who are you people, kind of thing. It's very much like he probably just got him when he turned around kind of thing, and the only kind of signs of a struggle is kind of the mess directly behind him where he's slouched up against, because probably I'd imagine after the deed was done, he kind of the shock kind of like grabbing at things to stand up sort of thing, but there doesn't seem to be like there was a fight, a scuffle. No one's been in the room since. The only pair of footprints are your guys. You notice straight away, it's just there's no one been here. The only thing that jumps out at you that inside this individual is kind of like kind of he's got like an not like a dressing gown, but just kind of like a long cardigan kind of thing on, like a droopy cardigan, kind of goes down to his like hips. Is a book, just a small black leather book. It looks kind of like a moleskin. That side's kind of that bendy, like it's bendy. It's like the paper isn't very thick, but it is the only thing that doesn't have dust on it. And when you flick through it, it is completely blank. It's like pearl white pages, really nice, like kind of like cracked leather, like looks like proper. This looks like a top of the line like notebook, but it's completely empty, and it is the only thing in this room that doesn't have dust on it. It's clearly like leaping out of Esme is like, this doesn't belong here.
She is going to put the book into her bag, and she turns to Dave and says, "Quick sweep upstairs, see if there's any valuables. We'll pocket them, use them for something useful, and then we'll burn the house and we'll leave." Sound good?
Yeah, he's like shrugs it. Yeah, no, that's fair. I know there's some magic that lets you. I know mending can fix windows, and I know there is some spells out there that lets you not leave footprints, but this feels weird. Like I've no way of like telling if they use that magic on this place because it leaves no residue. But I don't know. My gut feeling is this seems off. But let's check upstairs and we'll go from there.
Yeah, she says, "I agree. I don't. This isn't who I thought it was. The closest guess that I can get is either the hand no longer had use for them anymore, or the person who's getting away isn't the what's the term? What am I looking for?
Killer? Like a character?
The person who's left was no killer.
Okay.
They were doing something else. I don't think this is the work of the Resistance. I don't think it's the work of any other faction in the city. I think this was probably hand-driven. But I could be wrong. I'm going to go and check upstairs. You just keep an eye down here. Keep an eye out for our friend arriving back again.
Yeah, no, he's like, yeah, no, that's a solid theory. Like, he's like, again, it's as good a theory as any kind of thing. He agrees. Like, lads, I was like, oh, we'll add it to the list. He's like, okay, I'll do a small sweep of the place, and like downstairs, I'll just have a look over while keeping an eye out. And Esme, investigation, please, for upstairs. An upstairs sweep.
Yeah.
Isidora, Coda, after many travels, long nights.
Wow, that's the
days.
third nat 20.
Whoa!
You are making up for that first nat 1.
That is, yeah, Esme is fucking going full Batman. She is Esme of Rivian. Coda, Izzy, after many days of travel, many hardships, including the weather, like which is still probably my favorite thing. You come upon a town. Boring.
Flavortown? Oh.
No, not Flavortown. Flavortown's is Yuria, US of not A. But yes,
US of E.
US of E. You arrive at the top of a hill, and all around you is lush farmland. Some a little bit more lush than others. Some in full grown. It's getting there. But the familiar cobble road as it descends down the large hill, shrubs and trees along the sides, and Boria to be 20-minute ride ahead.
I'll kind of say to my parents, I didn't expect it to be quite this difficult, but we got here. It's all fine. Everyone's alive.
So, what's the plan when we get down there?
Well, if it's anything, Gary kind of scratches his chin. He's like, if it's anything like where we came from, you'd probably have to just go to the mayor to talk about a residency, this urgent kind of thing. But I guess we could stop off at the city watch or the mayor's office kind of thing.
Well, we know the mayor and the sheriff, so it should be fine.
Oh well, yeah, sure. Lead on, I guess, and they kind of gesture forward as Coda and Izzy lead the party, the half party, to the gates. Not the gates, but the arch that says "Welcome to Boria" kind of thing. Boria's changed a little. It looks a bit it seems to have aged well more than you'd say it aged well. Like it's kind of the shops kind of look a little bit nicer. For the most part, it all looks relatively the same. There's a few odd scarrings along the walls, as if like maybe spells went awry, or maybe there was a fight. You're not entirely sure. But in the main street near one of the larger buildings, that you can't quite remember what used to be in it, is a lot of tents outside and like a lot of horses and carriages and kind of like a large gathering of people in armor, and just generally they look kind of like adventurers. Like just an absolute large cluster, and some of them are arguing, some of them are chatting, some are drinking, being merry. They kind of seem to be having kind of like a wide array of individuals.
Is there anyone in like a Hand of Yuria uniform?
Give me a perception check, buddy. Cool. Right. Yeah. No. There. From what you guys can tell, there's no. These are all just like they're not in matching uniforms or anything like that.
Yeah.
They seem to be kind of like in their own individual armor kind of thing. They're all like they seem to be kind of like a jolly bunch, apart from the few that are arguing, kind of thing. And you see the carts are kind of scratched up and look kind of not worse for wear, but these carts have seen a lot of fucking damage. You see like massive claw marks along the sides and like clearly like holes that like they've jimmied arrows out of, that sort of thing. And it's just like they're all kind of like brash and bombastic in their ways, and like they're kind of like they all just kind of look a bit weird, kind of out of place sort of thing. No one's kind of addressing you that just walked into town, so to speak, but these people seem to be kind of taking up a lot of the road, kind of outside areas sort of thing. You're gonna have to like veer around them sort of thing to proceed.
Can we see like any sort of locals and like how they're reacting to them if they're around?
Yeah, there's one or two people kind of walking, like a man with like kind of like looks like several pitchers, kind of like on those like on the stick across his back kind of thing. He looks like he's coming from like a well that you would know to be near the entrance, kind of thing. He's kind of looking at him. He's kind of like ugh, like kind of scoffs, and it's just like they're so loud. Keeps walking, sort of thing.
If he walks near us, I'm going to hail him and ask him what's going on.
Yeah, like I'm gonna say, you guys, as you're seeing these, you're kind of like walking forward because the Darrows wouldn't kind of like be like, oh, this is odd. They'd just be like, oh, look, a group of people, and they're kind of like walking ahead, sort of thing. And after a while, you kind of go like you walk perpendicular with this individual, kind of like kind of giving him a bit of space because you don't want to knock his like quarterstaff perhaps with the pictures on, sort of thing. So is it a case of if you do that, you hail him that?
Yeah, oh, good. What time of day is it?
It's about midday. Like, it's 12 kind of thing.
Yeah,
I'd say like 11:30 hitting like midday on the dot.
Afternoon, friend. It's been some time since we've been in Boria. What's with, this? She gestures to the mass people.
I was like, oh, yeah, they're, well, we're not allowed to say ruffians anymore because that gets fights, but some sort of weird guild that's set up here. You give them money and they apparently hunt beasts, but he like looks around and he's like, I never see no beasts around these parts, but they're always bringing weird carts full of weird things and bringing them into that building, and I think they sell them? I don't know. It's really weird, but they're loud, they're brash, and not really in the mood for it ever. I kind of want them to go.
Okay. Thank you for letting us know. That's weird.
And he's like, yeah, I don't know. The mayor like tolerates them. Apparently, they pay their bills, but I don't know, man. I think they should just go.
Out of character, do we have to broker another peace in Boria? Like every time we come here, we have to sort out some sort of tension.
Every time we go to Boria, there's going to be a new community we have to make peace with.
And end with us all smoking a pipe with the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Can we hear what this guy's like shouting about with this guy?
Oh, the two that are arguing?
Yeah.
I can give me a perception check. I got listening perception.
Huh.
You hear the words sick of and heretic.
Whoa. And like, how many people are arguing?
About 4 or 5, kind of in a cluster. They kind of look suited up. They looks like kind of like either they've just left or they've just returned. You're not too sure, but they certainly look like they either are going to go on a mission or they just came back. They're pretty much like all in their gear. They got like their swords are dangling, like you would like just kind of spy because the one that like definitely has their back to you is like it seems to be kind of an archer type, and their quiver has like 2 arrows left in it kind of thing. So you might be able to guess that like perhaps they just came back. Maybe they're going to be. You're not too sure, but they're 100% arguing.
Who's calling who a heretic?
A full-blooded, from the looks of it, full-blooded orc is pointing a big chunky finger at an individual that seems to be kind of scrawny, kind of like small frame, but they've kind of like they look like they're maybe in half plate. You don't really know. It's kind of offset by all these like rags and like strips and like wraparounds of like this really vibrant, but it looks like if it was clean it'd be very vibrant, but looks like it's obviously seen travel. The edges of it are kind of like chipped away like scarves, that kind of material, of this yellow color.
And are these spy guys both in the same guild, or is one of them a townsfolk and one of them's a guild guy?
They seem to be like smack bang in the middle of this like guild group. Like they,
okay,
like
so they're
none
both
of the guild
in the
are,
same kind of.
like,
Are they in the masks
like
and
the
stuff?
other guild members kind of don't like seem to be like they're kind of looking at us and like, oh fucking Jesus Christ, he's at it again, kind of thing. But like no one seems to be kind of like, hey, don't talk to our guild mates like that.
Yeah, but this isn't like an altercation between the townsfolk and the guild. It's an inner guild thing.
It seems to be that way anyway.
Okay. This guy wrapped up in like bandages and stuff, he doesn't look anything like the guys we saw in Mora's village, does he?
No, but like the kind of haphazard interweaving the cloth among the armor and over the armor and like through the armor seems to be kind of like a common thing. Like that's probably the only common thing. It looks like someone put their armor on first and then put like this like dominant color cloth like all over themselves and in between themselves and all that sort of thing. Like just from glancing at it, you might get the idea that it's kind of like a little bit religious. They seem to be kind of like, like it's how it's arranged. It clearly does not offer in any way combat help or anything like assistance. It purely seems to be this person wanted it to look like that.
Are there any like symbols that we might recognize?
A perception check, friends. Esme, as you walk around the upstairs with that nat 20, you see that no one's lived in this house for a while. The only thing you can discern...
for 12 years.
Because Oration's been dead for 10 years.
The one bedroom looks like it's been used, the other does not. The other looks like it's one single bed. The cloth is like so like the corners are so straight, like dum like across and down. It looks like that bedroom's probably never been used. The bedroom that you kind of discern like someone made their bed quite neatly and tried to clean up. Looks like it hasn't been used in a while, but you definitely see like when you check the wardrobes, this one actually has clothes in it and has changes of boots and such. But again, it probably hasn't been used in a while, but someone was using this bedroom, that sort of thing. You find several like pieces of parchment like kind of underneath the nightstand. You kind of like looking around, you're like, oh, maybe I'll look under the bed. And you kind of drop down on all fours, have a quick glance, and you see scrunched up pieces of parchment. It seems the only thing that's on it is like someone started to write like, well, I think in like penmanship, and it kind of like scratches off and it's been crunched up and just kind of like cast aside sort of thing. You're not too sure when, but it's quite dusty, quite messy, so it's probably been there a while. But like, yeah, that's all you gather. Like, looks like no one's used this house in a while.
She'll pop downstairs and ask Dave if he saw anything of note.
Yeah, when you walk downstairs, Dave is in the sitting room and he's just like, oh, Esme, look at this, and kind of gestures over to the fireplace that looks like, again, a pile of ash and soot is in it, but it doesn't look like it's been disturbed. But he pulls out a piece of paper, like the corner of burnt parchment, but you can see just the edge of like, from the desk of the Hand of Yuria kind of thing, like an official sigil, like just in the corner, but it's half burnt. And it's just like, whoever was here was certainly covering their tracks, at least while trying to.
Esme, there's nothing else written on that page?
No, it's quite literally at the corner of a piece of parchment
Okay,
probably
yeah.
burned from the middle kind of thing out.
She just says, right, that's fine. Is there firewood there?
Yeah. It'll be like only 2 or 3 logs, not much.
And is there any spare lantern oil going?
Give me an investigation check to find such a thing.
Yup.
Coda. You were looking for like kind of a sigil or a badge or something that might like
some
unify these two.
identifier, yeah.
Yeah. You notice that like on their hilt, like on their hips, like dangling is a small like medallion that seems to depict like a bird's head. Kind of like from the side, like a 2D like stencil kind of thing. It looks like it's made out of like maybe some sort of iron. It kind of looks like it's genuinely nice quality, like with that roll and like your kind of knowledge of metals and stuff. It's like those medallions would probably work like easily 50 to 100 gold there. That's nice craftsmanship, that sort of thing.
I'll turn to Isidora and kind of quietly be like, should we step in here or should we just keep going? I feel like we should say something, or at least ask.
I mean, they're kind of in the way.
Yes, I think we should probably talk to them. But you're better at that sort of thing than I am.
What's the best way to approach this? The Darrows, like, I know we don't have a cart anymore. The Darrows, like, have their stuff with them, so they're, like, carrying a bunch, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
They're like a suitcase. They're traveled light kind of thing. It's like the worst case we'll work and buy new clothes.
Fair enough. Hey fellas, you mind keeping it down? We've got a couple of travelers just trying to get home.
Can I have a persuasion check, Amy? Just to see if they like even pay any heed to Isidora. Esme, you find kind of like just the ends enough to get a bit of an old blaze going.
Yeah, she will.
Oh, come on. What's wrong with you tonight?
Yeah, we have not been getting great rolls. Esme's getting all to that 20. She's sucking up all the good stuff.
What are you doing, Esme, old gal?
Sorry, 1 sec.
Yeah, no issue. Izzy. Well, Neil's checking stuff. Izzy kind of yells that, and like you can see like the orcs and like a few of their ears perk up because they've heard it, but no one's kind of giving a shit. And you see like one halfling in the back is kind of like, oh, she said, and then like it's like the yelling still going. He's like, okay, never mind.
If I see that, I'm gonna like sidle around to the halfling. Like how far are they from us?
About 15 feet.
Yeah, I'm going to sidle up to the halfling and say, "Hey, what's with your friends there?"
He's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing? I don't know. I don't feel like gossiping. It's like their thing. I don't want to gossip and get in trouble."
Look, I don't expect you to gossip. It's just they're kind of in the way, and we're trying to do a job here. And she like points back to the Darrows. She's like, "We're trying to get these folks home, and we want to give them like a good impression of the place. And you weren't really helping, you know."
Persuasion check. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, I can see that. Like, you want to do a good job and get paid for it. I relate to that kind of shenaniganry."
Okay, cross your fingers. Oh, jeez.
We will return. Esme, what are you doing?
Esme does. Esme takes the little bit of lantern oil she's gotten from here, because she also has her own. But I'm also like, I'll use that if I have to.
That's the good lantern oil.
Yeah, that's for burning down bigger buildings. She essentially just douses your man, like the body, in lantern oil, and then does a bit of a spread with what remains, just kind of like towards something else flammable.
Yeah, like towards the couch in the sitting room, sort of
something
thing.
like that. Literally, like she's kind of like she's making no bones about it. So it's like someone's gonna come in and they're gonna be like, "Why the hell did they pull the couch into the hallway?" And it's just like, because I was burning stuff. So I'm not really sure I care, David. But yeah, she kind of like looks at the body, and I'm not sure if it works aesthetically, but it's essentially like she does a Wednesday Adam strikes a match in front of her face and then throws it on the body.
Fair. Yeah.
And then once it starts to light up, she's like, "Let's go!" And she just walks straight out the front door, closes it, and just says, "Gonna walk for a little while."
Dave nods and follows suit. He's like, Esme, I'm not going to question why you're burning the bodies, although it is rather odd. And setting fires, given what's happening in the city, is ballsy. But that corpse in there, that's like several weeks old.
Yes. It is concerning. But
so
he's a double agent and he's dead now.
Well, he's like, oh well, then I guess that's him then.
Well, hold on. She'll unstrike her match. It's like, what are you thinking?
It's like, oh no, nothing. I just mean like it's like if you were under the like I don't know, like why did you have to seek this individual out? Now I'm just saying it's kind of weird that like you wanted to go to this individual. They've clearly been dead for quite some time, like at least 2 to 3 weeks, maybe more. We kind of just missed the extreme bloating and explodey like pus bit, thankfully, because that I don't like that bit. But like why are you looking for like a 3+ week old corpse?
Well, I thought I was looking for a living man, Dave, but it turns out someone else got to kill him first. I'm not sure I mind who killed him. I think it was the Hand, but I'm just thinking about it and saying, if he's dead, he's dead. Is that the wrong thing to think?
No. I'm just curious. Like, I'm gonna come support you no matter what. It's just a case of like, why are we torching a dead guy? That's all I want to know. But I just want to know why. That's all.
It's torching the dead guy is mostly just, if there's gonna be a revolution, we might as well cause a fucking revolution. Also, it's the only way to get the dead guy stink out of the house.
I mean, yeah, okay, light her up, and he kind of like, as he says that, he kind of walks through the front door and opens it for Esme.
She relights the match, and this time she throws it behind her, and then it doesn't work, and she goes back, she lights it again. she just says, it's like, she closes the door, and I like to imagine it like there's like a soft boom once the door closes. Like, oh, excuse me.
And he's like, yeah, like you close the door, there's kind of like a poof. And he's like, you were talking this morning about like several people. Are they all going to be dead bodies when we get to them?
She says, I really hope not, because I feel like him being alive would have meant we got more answers. But now we have no answers about him being, I feel like, and she kind of just like, she says this while she's walking away. She's like, let's walk away from the burning house as quickly as possible, Dave.
Yeah, okay.
But without arousing suspicion. And she like links arms with them. And she just says, yeah, I feel like he's dead. And him being dead means there's nothing further to be gained. I feel like the book might have something magical in it. Like, I feel like it might have hidden information. And we'll look at that when we settle back in Rose. But otherwise, he's dead. So I don't know. I'm not too sure if we should worry too much about a dead man who's now on fire.
Okay, yeah, no,
I am concerned that he was dead about 3 weeks. We got this information maybe, at most a week ago?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
So it's like, we got information about a week ago from super secure vaults. I feel like maybe, and then she sighs and she says, I feel like maybe actually they could be aware of the information we have and they might be beating us to the punch. So we'll go and see. She takes out a small roll of paper and she says, Durana Tinklefoot? Yeah, we'll go to see whoever Durana Tinklefoot is. And
he nods.
We'll see if she is alive, and I think it's a she. I'm not too sure. We're going to go see if they're alive, and if they are, we'll ask them some questions about their dealings, see if it might be that the Hand are coming to get rid of them, or if not, we'll see the others when they come back and see if they have any thoughts on the matter.
Yeah, cool. All right, give me a survival check. Amy.
Yeah.
This halfling is like, okay. And he points to the man with the yellow. yellow rags around him. And he's like, okay, he's basically this thing called he's an X thing. But he's like, he's from, like, I'm not sure if you've ever been down south, but he's from this place called the Wiccan Glades. They've kind of got like this weird magic religion thing where they think they can see the future. And he's been preaching about, like, did you guys see that weird flash in the sky from that weird device that was up there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Weird, right?
apparently that was all in some book. And he's like freaking out. He's talking about like it's the end of the world, and well, the big guy over there, and he points to the full orc, and he's like, "That's Muktu. He's kind of like, he's not all about that prophecy, and he kind of doesn't like the whole magic thing. It kind of freaks him out, and so like they've always kind of been at ends, but this is kind of like we have this rule where it's like no matter what, like bleh. He's like, hey, sorry, like it's a case of like we have this rule where no matter what your religion is, and no matter what diet, anything you follow, it's like you keep it to yourself. We're all like, in the guild, we're all all for one and one for all. It's like we accept most, unless you're like some sort of raven lunatic mad murderer. Then it's like, hey, we're going to report you to the watch because that's not cool. But yeah, so like the one rule is that you keep your personal shit to yourself, and like, okay, admittedly he's been breaking that rule, but like it's kind of creepy that everything he's saying is coming true, and it's got me riled up, it's got some of the boys and like some of the gals and everybody else riled up, and it's kind of weird. And I think Muktu just kind of like got a bit fed up of it, but like realistically, like if that's what the guy believes, is he shouldn't be given out to for believing that. I don't know. I'm kind of like, it's.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's just more like if people wanted the accurate spelling, I guess. But yeah, and he's like, yeah, no, but like I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like, boss will probably be. I think he's in talking to a client at the minute. I'm sure when he gets out, he'll probably like set him straight. But at the minute, it's just kind of intense. So I mean, you can try quell a full blood orc's rage by all means. Go for it. I ain't getting in the middle of it. I've seen what that guy can do with just his hands. I knew this guy. He was like in a single piece, and now he's in two. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean. So, who are you guys?
It's like, I don't know. We're kind of we're kind of fresh out the gate. We're kind of like boss. Kind of like, yeah, I don't know. He was raised in the mountains. He's always had a thing for he's a pretty good hunter. He's pretty good with a sword. He's kind of a hard ass. But yeah, no, and like he has this theory that the like wildlife, and he like kind of shakes his hand a little bit and pushes up like his glasses. He's like, oh yeah, the wildlife's kind of like offset now because of whatever the hell that flash thing was. It's kind of upset the natural balance, he says. But yeah, no, and they've been kind of like beasts that reside primarily in mountains have been like migrating downwards and like to the land, to like wide open areas, and that's causing chaos just purely from the get go with the local animals and beasts and creatures, and we just like they're all beasts in our book. It's like a beast is something that's going to hurt someone, so we put it down. That's the shtick. You can get into specifics, but I'm not one of them nerds. But yeah, they upset things, which causes a chain reaction, and the local animals get upset, go into a rage, fight. They take it out on the local people, and that's kind of what we're here for. We're kind of like to help stop that from happening. Cull the herd, because like nature's nature, but realistically, if I'm all for like the natural order, but if the natural order is going to have like towns razed because like some goddamn like dino nerds come down from the mountains and start like ranting and raving and like chewing innocent people up, then we got to step in. It's what we do.
Yeah, on the road we encountered a lot of that, more so than we thought we would, and it certainly stood out. It's good to know that someone's taking care of it. What did you say you guys were called?
I don't know. We don't really have a name. We've just been going by like a hunters guild at the minute. We're pretty fresh.
Cool.
I think like we've officially been a guild. I think 3 days.
Oh wow!
Before that we were just kind of like a roaming band of mercenaries, I guess, technically, if you wanted to call us that. But yeah, no, boss like finally got the money to make it legit, and we have to have like, apparently the rule is that like to be an official guild you have to have like at least one city as a residence, and they've chose here. It's a nice place.
Lucky Boria.
Yeah, places are nice. They don't really seem to have much crime. The city watch is pretty lax, so we were like, hey, if we pay the bills, can we set up shop? And we've kind of, as you can see, he gestures to the large group of weirdly dressed individuals that seem to all have up and down kind of quality and abilities. And he was like, we've been kind of approaching attracting quite a mass of people, and some are good, some are bad, and we're kind of trying to weed out the weaklings, or the scrawnies, as boss calls them at the minute. So yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool, to be honest. I mean, things have been kind of crazy all over. Good to know someone's doing something about it. So who's your boss?
He's like, oh, we call him boss, but his full name is Dances with the Birds. He's a weirdo. He scares me a lot, but he's a good guy. He has the good of the innocent at heart, I think.
And I'm sorry, I never even asked your name. I'm Isidora.
I was like, oh, I'm Beauregard. And you're like, hey. Yeah, he's a tiny halfling with kind of like a buzz cut, kind of blonde hair and glasses, and kind of a little bit of stubble. He probably hasn't shaved in a day or two. Probably hasn't got a chance. You can see his armor's kind of a little dirty, but he's got a cross, a chunky enough crossbow, slung over his shoulder, and some bolts are hanging out of it, the quiver kind of satchel area. But he's got one of those medallions on his hip as well, kind of thing, and he looks like his boots and all are pretty aged. He's clearly seen, he's clearly someone who's in the action a lot. Sort of.
Okay. Around how many of them are there?
By a bugbear at one point. Hey, Laura. You even spy a bugbear at one point carrying tankards of ale to a table that you can see through the window, and there's a gnome talking to them, kind of thing, and everyone's there doesn't seem to be any restrictions on race, so to speak.
Any Warforged?
Not that you can see.
Okay. Laura, what
was the last thing you heard? Yeah.
That they're talking about a hunters guild, and they were just a newly established guild, and their boss was just called Boss or something, and he was I think they were talking about the boss, and I got disconnected.
All right.
So I don't know.
No, the boss was called their name, or his name, sorry, is Dances with Birds, and he's like, oh, but we all just call him Boss. He's a bit of a hard ass. They're newly established. They've technically only been on the books 3 days, but
I got that stuff. Yeah, they needed money and they needed a town to set up in. I got that bit.
Yeah. Then that's kind of Izzy asked, Amy asked, what the kind of makeup of the group is, and I was like, oh, there's a wide variety of races. There's orc, full blood orc, half orcs. There's humans. There's dwarves, elves, halflings. There's a gnome. And at one point, Izzy spies a bugbear bringing tankards of drink to a table of individuals. Seems to be kind of a nice hefty mix of men and women kind of thing. It seems to be kind of grand. There seems to be a few people hobbling around with bandages and stuff. Though they do not have the little medallions of the pressed bird face kind of thing. On their hilts, they kind of look a bit they scream rookie kind of thing.
Mm.
Actually, I'm gonna point out the medallion and be like, oh, is this your symbol?
He kind of looks down. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, that's bosses. That's how you know you're official." We didn't kind of really have a way of saying who was official and whatnot. We kind of for the while we just kind of had this blue sash we just tied across our arms. It was kind of lackluster. We had this awful situation actually. He's just kind of trailing off and scratching his chin. He's like, yeah, we had this awful situation where someone took someone else's sash after they died and in the field and pretended to be a member, and we all kind of came together. We don't not all of us knew each other from way back or anything. We're all new, and yeah, it was kind of weird. So now you don't get one of these medallions unless it's handed to you by boss when you kind of he sees you're worthy kind of thing. So
okay.
Because we're trying to we don't want fucking we get kids from all different ages oh yeah, they're all greenhorns. I read about being heroes in books, and one of them gets snatched up by a wild wyvern, and suddenly we're the bad guys. You know what I mean? So,
so what was the last thing you guys went up against?
It's we're some trolls. There was a cave nearby that had a few nasty trolls, and they were kind of jumping and kicking about. There was you ever seen a displacer beast? Nasty buggers. But yeah, I kind of like decided their cave was its cave, and they were kind of like ramping around, ranting and raving, and like causing a storm. So we kind of had to go in and take it out. It was pretty great when the family of trolls were like trying to beat us to death, and the displacer beast came back from a hunt. So that was a nice time. 4 people died. It wasn't fun.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's it's literally what you sign up for. It's like you get a moment's silent, a prayer, and if you're lucky, if we have time, a pretty deep grave.
Well, I have to say, I really admire what you do. I think it's a great thing that you're doing here, and honestly, I wish you the best of luck with it. But I think if you wanna stay in this town, you might wanna see if your friends can't control their tempers. I mean, this is a nice place. It's full of nice people, and you don't want to give them the wrong impression, right?
He nods. Izzy, can I have a dex save with advantage, please?
Excuse? Okay.
Dex save.
With advantage?
Yep.
Who's throwing shit? Is it rain?
She's just like pelting you with pots and pans from a tornado.
18.
Izzy's kind of like yeah, because you don't want to give them a bad impression, because this is a nice town, and it's like out of the corner of your eye you see something coming at you, like whoa, and you like step back and you see that like it looks like a metal cup, like a travel mug that you'd bring into like the wilderness with you and your camping supplies kind of thing. And you see like the full orc is holding his head like motherfucker, and you just hear like this growling coming from like the building, and he's like, "What have I told you about fighting?"
Where did the cup come from?
The cup seems to have originated from the full blood orc's head. It seems someone hit him with it, and it bounced off his forehead and came like flying towards Izzy, kind of thing. And like you see, like everyone's kind of like scrambling to get out of the way, kind of thing. Like they're like, "Oh shit, it's boss, he's angry." And you see like the crowd parts, and like you see the two arguing guys are like, "God, here we go." And like this full orc was like, "This is your fault." Like, "Fuck you, I'm right." Like that sort of thing. And you see everyone parts, and before you, looming in full onyx-colored armor, a red bandana pushing their white mane like this white bright mane of hair back, like with like a really sharp, like the blade looks like it's seen a lot of work. Looks like it's been forged, like repaired a lot. They have like a gash across their eye, like it's not like a blinding gash, it's just like a slice above and below the eye kind of thing. They're they don't have any shoes on. You see their paws touching the floor, and before you is like a pretty much like the most jacked Trabaxi you've ever seen ever. And like he's just kind of like standing there with like both arms on his hips. And he's like, "What have I told you?" And he's like, "Boss, you won't shut up with the fucking doomsday crap." And he's like, "It's not my fault, then, right?" And he's like, "Oh, Mukdu." And like, he walks forward and he's like, "I kicked your ass in front of people before, and I'll do it again. Get the fuck inside." And he's like, "Oh." And like he goes in, like kind of like he doesn't he kind of like grunts and grumbles, but doesn't challenge him on it, kind of thing. And like like everyone's kind of looking at like the boss, and he's like, "Ugh." And he's like, "What are you looking at?" And they're like, "Ugh." And they turn around and he's just he like kind of like has a finger, and he's like, "Yeah, come here." And you see the ex-scholarly guy kind of leans down. He's like, "Oh."
Wait, how tall is this Tabaxi?
Oh, he's like 3 foot. Like he's tiny.
Yay!
Oh yeah, like he's 100%
Tiny jacked Tabaxi.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. And like he's like, "Zayden, I know you feel passionate." He's like, "It's not my fault everything's coming true." And he's like, "Zayden, what are the rules?" And he's like, "Oh, you leave it at the door, one for all that." And he's like, "Exactly." And he's like, "I'm just saying, this has been predicted. You know what I mean? Like the thing in the sky, the flash, the upside down, it's all there. It's all there." And he's just like, "I don't need to worry. I can't worry. I need to feed everyone and still just take 5, please." And he's like, "Ugh." And
The showers.
Yeah, he looks really frustrated. He's like, fine, fuck this, fine, and like storms off, like kind of like he doesn't shoulder Izzy, but he kind of like walks past, like determined, kind of like towards the exit of Boria, probably out towards the fields to chill out, that kind of thing. And like this Trabaxi kind of turns and he's like, get back to work. And everyone's like, okay, boss, okay, and he's like, fuck it. And he kind of looks over at Izzy and he looks to Beauregard and he's like, Beauregard, go wash the dishes. And he's like, yeah, sure, boss, sure, yeah, no, that's cool. And like when he walks past, he like points at the Trabaxi and then he like does the whole like he's crazy thing, like kind of
like as he walks off to wash the dishes, I hand him a cup.
He's just like, oh, geez, thanks, yeah, this is great. And the Trabaxi approaches and he's like, what can I do for you? You grilling my employees? Do we do anything, officer?
Oh, no, goodness, no. Just a passing traveler, just curious about what's going on. Your boys are making quite a ruckus.
It's like, yeah, I try to keep him he's like, actually, yeah. He's like, yeah, I try to keep him in line, but, they're kind of hot-headed. Comes with the territory, hunting beasts.
Yeah, I heard that's something else. We encountered quite a few dangerous things out on the road ourselves.
He's like, oh, really? What kind of dangerous things? You need them gone for a fee?
Well, most of them are gone now. Either that or they ran off. No, thankfully we made it through all right. We're here now in one piece, and that's what matters.
It's like, And from like the doorway, you hear like, sir, and like you see the Trabaxi kind of looks over his shoulder, and a person wearing like the most scarves, the most cloth, robes, and rags. Like this person is just basically a walking pile of like thrift shop scarves. Like you can't see any like discernible features. Like you can see they're a humanoid shape, but this person, like you can't see like their face at all. You can see like darkness where like their faces look clearly looking out, but they're wearing gloves, boots. Like there's not one discernible feature, bar the hundreds upon layers of rags and robes and cloth. And he's like, yes, rags. And he's like, oh, the client is willing to pay what you asked. It's just you got to seal the deal. They won't listen to me. And like this person is like holding like a large ledger and has like a quill, kind of like a clipboard, but like it's kind of like at a right angle at the top where there's like a quill and ink that can sit in it, sort of thing. And he's like, I'll be 2 minutes, Rex, 2 minutes. And he's like, as you wish, sir. And he's like 180s on their heel, and kind of they walk back inside.
Well, don't let me keep you, sir. You can, if you have something you need to do.
He kind of looks the two like up and down, and he's just like looks at Izzy and he looks at Coda, and he looks at Rizbit and he's like,
Not bad.
Yeah, he's like looks at Rizbit and he's like, I could do with 2 scrawnies. You want in? That's directed at Coda and Izzy, by the way.
Oh, us? We kind of have another gig going on at the moment, but appreciate the offer. I mean, if you have work that you need help with, we could take a look at it, but yeah, I mean, she gestures to like the group of people working around them. You seem to have a pretty well covered.
So, more the merrier. You look like you guys, like he points to like the bottom of like say Izzy's skirt or like dress, or skirt dress. I don't know, I can't remember. But it's kind of like like the weathers of like say travel and such. Mm-hmm. And he kind of like points to it and he's like, oh no, you look like you get around. And he looks like kind of like cocks ahead and looks at Coda as well, and like say like Rizbit as well. And he's like, oh, I'm just saying, if you ever want to shack up with the guild, you know where to find me.
What sort of a beast are you hunting?
Never pays. 3 of my best are out hunting a dragon at the moment, which should go for a hefty penny if they manage to bring it back alive. But even if its head comes back, it'll be worth a bit of penny. But yeah, at the minute there's just the dragon contract that's open. They'll probably have that to us in a day or two. But It's more just like keeping the peace around here because, whatever that thing was in the sky seems to have upset everybody.
Well, we'll see if we're looking for work. We'll certainly keep it in mind. Your base of operations is gonna be here?
For the foreseeable future, yeah, it's kind of the rules apparently if you set up a guild, so you gotta abide by them if you want to stick around.
Of course. Well, we appreciate the offer, and who knows, we might take you up on it someday, or hopefully we might have a job for you.
So, cool. All right. Like tips his imaginary cap, and he kind of turns on his heel and walks back towards into the room. Sort of. Whoa! My roll 20 exploded. Dearest Esme.
Yes.
It takes you a while, but given the role, but you finally manage to navigate and find Durana Tinklefoot's kind of like seems to be like a main office kind of thing, like a business place, kind of like a retail, not a retail, it's somewhere
Retail outlet.
yeah, retail outlet kind of thing. Like you go in there, you buy housing or like land, etc.
A realtor.
Yeah, realtor. Yeah, but it's like you see the the name on the front is not Tinklefoot, but like this is the address that the Tinklefoot individual apparently like resides at.
Esme just turns to Dave and says, I believe this one works for the Hand and ends up leaking the information about where all the fake supply lines are going. So I think we're just mostly here to shut her up or shut her down.
He nods and he's like, lead on.
Well, Esme just walks through the door.
You hear a bell ring and you hear, yes, how can I help you? As a gnome kind of like preps up from behind the counter. Arms folded.
Is there anyone else in the shop?
There is a half elf looking at some items behind the counter.
She says, Durana Tinklefoot?
There is a pause.
Darren's trying to remember something.
No, I was eating chocolate.
Same.
Oh god, okay. I nearly died. Worth it. Yes. She is like, no. I'm sorry? No. I'm Lillian? Do you have the wrong store?
Can I insight this bitch?
Yeah, you may. Coda, you find yourself in front of the mayor's office with your parents.
Cool. I walk into the mayor's office with my parents.
You are greeted by, where the fuck is this motherfucker on this goddamn, where is Boria? There it is.
Yeah, if we're if Coda and I are having this conversation as we head to the mayor's office, I'll say, yeah, we should talk to that prophecy guy to see if he's predicted anything else.
Yes, I want to know what happens next in his prophecy.
Esme, okay, I'll get to you 2 seconds. Izzy and such crew, the other crew, you guys are, as you walk through the office, you are like kind of run into Grax, the female dwarf that you know to be the city watch leader. She kind of looks you guys over and she's like, oh, what brings you here?
I kind of like gesture to my parents, like I was looking for residents available. Do you have anything?
Oh, yeah, we should. Yeah, hold on. She kind of like stops striding and like mid stride. She kind of turns on her hinge. She's like, hold on, I'll go get Aridla and we will hash this out. Yeah, wait here. And she gestures to the chairs and she's like, and kind of like waddles back up the steps.
Yeah, I'll kind of like shake her hand and
Esme.
bow and that.
Yeah, no, the formalities are grand. Yeah. you go through the Esme, she is lying through her tail.
Can you give me a kind of quick rundown of what this room is like?
It's basically a counter at the back of the room where she is. Kind of like glass cabinets, kind of lined to like, it's like really nice detailed sketches of like buildings and such. Kind of like, if you went to a realtor's and there was photographs of houses. And like there's a half elf to the right looking at like one of the glass cabinets, kind of like, it's like, 45th Street. It's got like, 4, bedrooms and all this stuff. Like, it's basic like, homes and buildings to buy, and they're kind of just like, like they're definitely window shopping. They 100% do not look like they could afford half the shit in this building. This is kind of like a rich district kind of thing. But other than that, it's more just like the glass cabinet. This small gnome lady is resting her like elbows and hands and stuff on. There is 2 windows behind you on each side of the door, and the door is just a nice wooden door with kind of a large window, like the front of a house perhaps. With kind of like a blind on the other side, like kind of half pulled down, and on the blind and on the window itself, it says it's like undergem, the like undergem housing kind of sort of stuff. So like the Tinklefoot thing, like there's no Tinklefoot on the front of the house or the building, sorry. But yeah, that's kind of it. Like it's pretty barren, it's pretty empty. It's literally just going to buy real estate, so to speak.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Are Esme and Dave connected by the ring?
Yes.
Esme thinks at Dave. I know you've used up some juice already. This shouldn't require too much. If you see her move for the door at the back, can you like shut it and keep it shut?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. There's 100% a door behind the counter as well, kind of thing. But yes. Yeah. He sees it and he's kind of like, yeah, no, that's cool. He's kind of like, oh look at that house. And as he turns his head, he's like, yeah, sure. Yeah.
No, Esme, I'm investing.
Esme like turns to the half elf and she whistles at them.
And he's like, yeah, yes?
Out.
Excuse me?
She puts on her werewolf face and she says, I thought I was clear enough the first time.
Can I have intimidation with advantage? Coda, Izzy, you guys are greeted by the mayor. She looks, she's in a nice suit, a nice business suit. Nice, kind of like, nice blue. And she's like, oh, it's been so long.
How have you been? How's the town?
Esme, it was with advantage, you but. It's been good, it's been quiet. But yeah, no, we got some new campers, and gestures to the window, and she's like, yeah, no, it's cool, it's cool. It's stressful, but gotta stay on our toes. A lot of gears turning.
How have things
days
been with the Darklings taking up residence?
Yeah, they kind of keep to themselves mostly. They've got a nice little business going. Kind of a small housing though. It's just kind of them now. But they're fine. Yeah, no, they're kind of like they do their thing. It's a nice nice setup we have going. No one's kind of upset. Everyone's on the same page. The campers, as previously stated outside, they know to leave like the Darklings alone, because I know Darklings can be traditionally viewed as rather evil, but these ones aren't. So that's good. I was told that you guys are looking for housing.
I love how in 2 completely separate areas we're both looking for or like in a place where housing is being discussed.
This is the realtor episode. I'll kind of gesture to my parents and say, look, yes, looking for accommodation in Boria. I don't know if there's anything available, or sort of. I'm afraid I couldn't really write forward. It was quite short notice.
He's like, oh, she's like, sorry, for me. And she's like, well, that's fine. And these must be the lovely parents. And they're like, oh yeah, hi, I'm Garrett. It's like, hi, I'm Lillian. All good. And they're like, yeah, shaking hands. They go through the formalities. And it's like, right, well, I'll go have a chat with them. You two can go for a walk and give us 15-20 minutes just to hash out the details, and we'll see what we can do for them. Is that cool?
Sure.
Yes, thank you so much for seeing us on short notice.
Yeah, no, it's well, you helped our lovely town out. It's the least I can do. And like she kind of like takes Garrett by the hand. She's like, come on, and like walks.
Is she a gnome?
Yeah.
I love that image so much. Sorry. She's so small and he's so big. Anyway.
Esme. This
Yes.
half-elf reels and discusses like, excuse me, you get the fuck out. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to me like that? Get the fuck out. You know, canine
As they-
trash.
Whew!
Esme draws her sword and she
Oh
says,
god.
there is one person who calls me a dog, and it's not you. Get out now.
Make one last roll without like just a regular intimidation check.
Yeah.
No advantage.
If he won't move, she's gonna just basically lunge forward to stab the man.
Mhm.
Oh god.
As Esme's like brandishing the sword, Dave's kind of like, he's like, walk away, son. And he's like, you know what, I'm going to get fuck down. I don't have to take this shit. And he looks at like, and he's like, you know what the fuck? You just gotta stand there. Fuck this. I'm going to watch. Screw this shit. He's like, goes towards the door like storming. And he's like, fuck this, fuck you. And the gnome hasn't like she is still in her, just like, madam, I would appreciate if you didn't threaten my patrons.
Esme ignores her and turns to Dave. She's like, I really thought I'd be more intimidating as a werewolf, but apparently not. She de-werewolves and she says, yes, Lillian, whatever you say, I'm here to speak to Joanna Tinklefoot, aka you. And I've come with an offer, something to make your life easier, in the hopes that it doesn't make your life more difficult.
Ooh, what's that?
As Esme is like, giving the spiel through the like glass cabinet underneath it, as if like one had pressed a wand against it, like blast this beam of force energy, and Esme, you get blasted with 5 magic missiles condensed to a singular beam, kind of thing. Like while Esme's like, yeah, it's just like boom through the counter, and this woman like runs, and Dave kind of like with an arm catches Esme. She kind of like not lose her foot, but kind of just like, well, that was unexpected. He kind of like presses a hand up against her to just be like, whoa, don't fall over. And you see his eyes glow, and the door shuts, and she's just like thrashing at the door.
As I just turns to Dave, is like, I honestly don't know if I could have done this without you. I'm so happy you're here.
He smiles and he's like, oh well, it's fun that we're both here.
She just hops over the counter and she says, Durana, look, this is going one way. I want you to get out of town. And I'm saying this as nicely as possible. I don't care where you go. You have enough power and information to get a lot of money out of another country or another city. I'd suggest Dagdom because they want to know what the Hand is up to. Or, and you'll love this, or I'll smother you in a bag. So these are your choices,
Wow.
lady.
I love it.
Can I have an intimidation check with advantage, please?
Or I'll smother you in a bag. What a threat.
Fucking hell!
Now you're paying for all those nat 20s.
She's just like, I don't know what your deal is, lady, but I'm not Joanna. I'm Lily. As I said, he's the face of the operation. Don't look at me. I'm just an employee. Bitch.
Wait, who?
Slaps.
Who? Where? What?
Joanna Tinklefoot is a male gnome.
Where is he?
It's like, I don't know. Nobody tells me nothing.
Okay. Esme once again takes out her rapier. It's like, I've stabbed bigger things than you, and I probably stabbed smaller. Start making with the words Tinklefoot or Lillian, whoever you are.
What should I see, Neil?
Which what? AC is 17. You hit.
Okay, hit. You take 1 singular damage as she drives her forehead into Esme's nose.
Ooh.
And she's like, you can kill me, they'll kill me if I talk, so do your worst, lady.
Well, look, if you're good, and I'm saying this to you after you've clearly headbutted me. Like, if you like help, I'm sure we can help you not get killed. But equally, if you don't help, I'm going to torture you. And if I can't get an answer, I'm going to start burning Joanna Tinklefoot's locations. So help us both out in terms of time management here, so that I can use the time I spend burning locations that he isn't in, and I'll use it to get you out of this city alive. How about that?
Neil.
Yeah.
Can I have a con saving throw with advantage?
Oh,
God fucking damn it!
I don't think she's listening to reason, Neil. She keeps attacking you.
I'm assuming the advantage is the 20.
Yeah, you take half damage. 1 second, friend. You take 2 damage as the back, whatever is behind that door, erupts in a thunderous boom. The door, like that as Dave is holding close, like shatters forward. Esme does not go back. The gnome kind of flies forward into Esme and like kind of out of her grip slightly, and she like smashes down into the glass cabinet. You see a gnome standing like hand outstretched, looking at Esme, a male gnome with a like quite literally a Saturday morning cartoon pencil twirly mustache.
Esme, who's starting to look a little worse for wear now, says, "Are you Durana Tinklefoot?"
It's like, who wants to know, sweet cheeks?
It's me, the lady who's going to smother you in a bag if you don't get out of town or die. Literally, just stop what you're doing. And he's like,
Dex saving throw, Esme.
yeah, she's bloody.
Esme is going to be
Oh my
killed
God,
trying
you
to
don't have
reason
any
with this
fucking
guy.
answers.
A whole lot of words there, but yeah. Esme, you fail as a 15-foot cone of flames erupts from this individual's hand.
Okay, Darren, I'm gonna just. Esme's gonna, like, when she gets over being on fire, she's gonna. But one, she's got uncanny dodge.
I was about to say, yeah, it's like, don't you please remember your uncanny dodge function, yeah.
She hasn't been doing it up till now because she thought she could avoid having to.
Yeah, but uncanny dodge is only spells that do dex saves. Not all spells.
No, wait. Uncanny dodge.
No, I think it's just when you get an
Evasion is the one.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. She's doing evasion to just half damage things.
Yeah, that's 5 fire.
Chooses her reaction.
Like, spreads across, and like the gnome woman, like, her pants that are like kind of jutting out of this like glass cabinet, she's like kind of shredded up in this. This is not a, like, as much as Esme's like threatening, when the camera pans down, it goes like full 18s, like Technicolor, like high saturated blood. Like, this woman is pretty fucked up at the moment because she's fallen through like a proper glass cabinet. And like her feet are on fire, and she's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And she's like rolling backwards, and Dave is kind of like, he's like, "Do I put her out? Is she the bad guy? I don't know." I'm very like, what? He like takes out a bat, and he just kind of holds it over his head. He's like,
David, maybe protect the mostly innocent woman. I'm going to kill this little person. He just goes over to like. He doesn't fight like someone with a rapier fights. He like holds it over her head and just starts stabbing down.
Neil, can I just remind you that in the last session before this, I gave you a healing potion.
That's good. She's not going to remember that while she's fighting.
Initiative, please.
I guess I'll put on the combat music.
Jesus. Is your plan just to like go to all of these places and just immediately launch into
the direct approach?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, my immediate plan is to go to these places and get rid of the problem, however it happens.
Okay, but can we like try and find out what the the exact details of the problem?
No,
first,
we don't need to know anymore. We don't
To be
need
fair,
know.
we don't really. With this guy, not really.
What?
Although, no, wait, with this guy, you probably do.
He was the spy master, right?
No, he was the supply guy with the warehouses and stuff. So he's like, he knows where the real supply warehouses are, and he sets up like fake diversion warehouses and stuff, so the resistance will attack them.
Right.
Alright, so Icarus, Izzy,
Hello.
what while the Darrows will go off to their small chat.
I have the combat music on now. This is gonna be weird. I'm gonna like ask. Yeah, it's like we're walking through the streets looking at art, like dun, 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 yeah.
Well, do we want to see if we can find this prophecy map?
Yeah. If Izzy like, yeah, I'll suggest that in character, kind of,
Yeah, she's curious. It's like a nice, sunny, calm day in
Yeah,
Boria.
we'll go for a chill walk through the cornfields with this combat music playing.
Survival check.
It's all on you. Boom, boom, dum, dum, dum.
It takes you a while, but eventually you see him like just chilling up against like kind of like a tree, kind of like one of the vines or the roots are kind of like big and thick and kind of have come up, and he's kind of just like kind of come up like an absurd amount. There's probably a big rock under there, and he's kind of just like sitting on it, like just smoking a pipe, kind of just like taking in the countryside air, so to speak. Esme, you're up. What do you do?
I'm going to start by attempting to insightful fighting this tiny person. So can he roll a deception against my insight?
Nice.
Finally!
Yep,
Nice.
fair.
She's using the rapier at the moment just because the bow is not suited to close-ranging fights.
Yeah.
The hit?
Yep, 16.
Yurt!
Yeah, 26 piercing damage as your rapier plunges into this individual's chest, and he's like,
She just says, "I'd like you to die, please."
I think that's not even
23 hits now.
23 does hit.
That's 7 lightning damage as this individual flares up with a shocking grasp.
Wow!
And he's just like, ha, not today, nerds. Disappears down a hallway.
No, get back here.
What do you do, Izzy? Or, not Izzy, sorry, Esme?
Esme is gonna run after him and just start, like, not even shouting, she's just like, "Come back so I can stab you!"
Can't you shoot with your bow? Like, does it take an action to convert it?
Actually, yeah, fuck it, she just throws the X rapier down. Oh my god, the X-ray. And then she whips out the bow of Pelor and she says, "Stop in the name of God!" and starts shooting at him.
Yeah, shoot.
I know you have the Inquisitive, like, subclass thing, but you're literally becoming like the Spanish Inquisition.
I feel like I don't understand the problem here.
I mean, it's just not a route that I thought the Inquisitive Rogue would go down, but, like, it's pretty great.
Well,
Jesus, Neil, please rule the nuke dice you're about to fucking roll.
And you have insightful on him, so you get sneak attack. Oh, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt,
Yeah,
Tinklefoot.
this is gonna be insane.
So wait, we have Spellfoot. What was the... Oh, Jesus.
Esme, I'm gonna say the first arrow to hit is the 25, not the crit. So it kind of hits him, and he's like, ugh, and he kind of like, stumbles back, and as he stumbles back, his like shoulder goes down, but his neck exposes, and this like last radiant shot just goes boom, straight into the neck, and like goes all the way through, and just like leaves like a proper like fist size like gaping wound in the side of his neck. It's like just blood sprays across the wall, and he's like, and just collapses onto the ground in a pool of blood.
Esme is gonna swig that healing potion, Darren. What are the stats for that?
Good idea.
I think it's a 1d4 or like. Hold on, I'll tell you now.
Also, no, Laura, this is actually super ideal, so shut up.
What's not ideal?
What did I say wasn't ideal?
Wait, I thought you said it wasn't ideal.
What wasn't ideal?
Just the situation.
It's
I didn't say that.
2d4 plus 2 hit points back me up.
I mean, were you reading my mind? I don't think it's ideal.
Someone
No
said
one
it's
said
not
anything.
ideal. No, you're a liar. No, Laura.
Just
Shush. I'm
for
not
the
doing
love
this.
of fucking
What was-
Christ, roll the house.
Look, it's recorded.
What was the hex, Darren?
It's recorded. You can check it
2d4
later.
plus 2. Don't make me say it again. It's gonna kill me.
2d4.
Plus
2d4
2.
plus 2.
I was naming off people. I was saying Vern Spellfoot. I rolled a Featherfoot because I should remember all the feet. I didn't say it wasn't ideal.
Yeah, halfling or gnomes and halflings do love their feet. Yeah, that's 7 HP you get back there, Esme. We're gonna whiz back to Izzy and Coda. How do you approach this individual? And when you finish approaching the individual, like initiating conversation, because I'm assuming that's what you want to do, we'll break for 5 to 10 minutes. Give it
I'll just kind of like walk up to him, and kind of, you know, like not looking threatening or anything. We're just kind of say like, "Oh, sorry to bother you, but would we be able to talk?"
And you are?
We just overheard you having an argument with your friend. But I just
It was kind of hard to not hear you, if you get what we mean.
If you've come to graze me about like where I'm from or what I believe, just I don't need it. Just, you know, walk on. And he just, you know, does the scooting, like, you know, like brushing kind of with his hand, kind of like, you know, walk on.
Well, actually, we're kind of curious. We're kind of in the business of prophecy ourselves, and we just wanted to chat for a little bit.
Can I have a persuasion check, Izzy? Because he doesn't.
And it better fucking work this time.
He doesn't.
Can I-
He just doesn't look like he's in the mood.
Can I try to sort of like
If you
assist
want to
by
assist,
saying that
you
like
must say
yeah.
a thing.
I mean, we believe you. We're not dismissing it. We think your prophecy has truth to it. We just want to know more.
Yeah, no, that's adequate. Roll a die, and we'll see if it gives us Amy advantage.
Oi!
No, it does not. Amy, standard roll if you please.
Sorry, Amy.
Oh!
He looks the two of you up and down, and like stands up and kind of like starts tapping the tobacco out of his pipe on the tree. And we'll pause there and go for a break because I need to fuck up some stuff from people.
Okay.
So yeah, cool. Yeah, so back in 5-10 minutes, guys. If people are back early, we'll resume early. That's all right.
Sure, I'll go get some water. Back in a minute.
Rock and roll. All right, back in a second. Right, so when we last left our heroes, Esme had just, you know, fucking like 360 no scoped some nerd, and Izzy and Coda were in the process of talking to Zaylen. So,
Look, I know you don't have any reason to talk, but to be frank, we've encountered a lot of dangerous and weird stuff lately, and we could use a bit of guidance.
he sighs and he's like, "What do you want?"
Well, you said that you predicted the big flash in the sky, right?
He like nods, but he's like, "Me, not me personally, but it's like, you know, been prophesized."
What comes after it?
Well, it's the start of something we call the Long Dark. It's like the great leaving of the gods. There will be a flash in the sky created by both godly power and hubris. And what follows next is chaos and an approaching darkness. The sea will bend, break, and a maelstrom will pour out, and on a bridge of white light on a golden steed, a black-robed figure will usher in the new era, a being that dances between both the living and the dead. Never truly alive, never truly dead. Will signal the death of the gods and the Long Dark. And he's like, and as he's kind of saying this as he's like reciting it, like he's clearly read it, like, and he's like, "So says Sister Deirdre," and he like kind of like imitates, like kind of like almost toasting with a drink sort of thing.
What is your faith? What god do you follow? Or is there a god you follow?
It's not necessarily a god. It's not necessarily a. It's a form of faith. It's just the answers are there in the weave when he's like in the libraries of the Wiccan Glades. They could tell you more, but the long and short of it is, centuries ago there was a divide among the mages in the capital city, Yuria. I'm not sure if you've been there. But there was a divide, and some left feeling the others had lost their way, and those that marched to what we now know as the Wiccan Glades, tried to remain true to what it was, and that's to use the arcane and what lies above us, essentially, to help, to see dangers before they come to the city and the world, and us and all that hubbub. But we were branded heretics, madmen, whatever you want to call us, and now we stick to the south, and only some of us, myself included, dare walk beyond the tree line. But those that do are typically considered exiles among the community, so now I can never return. So gotta make it a living somehow, and I'm pretty good with zapping things.
Why'd you leave in the first place?
I don't know. There's only so much you can sit around and listen to people prattle on about theory and practice and not ever seeing it, in the flesh. It's like, why study magic if you can't use it, in everyday life? They got a bit too scholarly for me, and I wanted action. I wanted adventure. I'll admit it. I was a brash kid. All those storybooks of the handsome rogue running off into the sunset with the crown he stole from the wicked king. I wanted that, so I left.
Fair enough. So, figure in black, bridge of light, golden steed.
Yeah, that's the long and short of it. If you read the passages, they're very descriptive, but that's pretty much the bullet points.
Would they let people in to look at these texts, or is this just...
Probably not, but I'd imagine you could convince the elders. Might have to do some sort of rite of passage or assist the village or town, a whole lot to prove that you've got their best interest. They don't really like anyone who comes capital side, and forgive me for strangers, but you both kind of reek of city.
Yeah, that's fair. Is there an end to this long darkness? Or is that just it then? Death of the gods, end of the world kind of thing?
No, not the end of the world. Death of the gods, a long darkness consumes the world, but not necessarily ends. It just means the god leaves. The gods leave. What remains of the weave would probably leave or dissipate, I guess.
I mean, that doesn't sound great.
And then it's just us and the crude things that we do create to fend off the nasties, and he kind of gestures to the sword on his hilt kind of thing.
I mean, does it say if the gods ever return?
Honestly, it doesn't. But then again, it's just one book. I've only ever read Deirdre's book. I haven't read the others. There's plenty there.
How many are there?
Maybe 10 or 12. Deirdre's is the third.
And did they all cover a specific area or a specific time or what?
No, it's more just the signs of when it's beginning and something in the sky creating that flash, followed by the flash that we would see in the sky would kill an incarnation of the natural world. So I've been told that those that had a pretty good view of it saw it kill the dragon. I don't really think there's any much more. The apex of the natural world is kind of a dragon. So I mean, all the signs are there.
So nothing to indicate that anyone would stand up against this darkness.
No, not like that. It's more just the signs that bad times are coming. But realistically, I suppose anyone could stand up against it if they put their mind to it. But most people just trying to make a living, try to stay alive. Most people just think you're mad.
Well, I mean, I don't. It's certainly the way things are. I mean, Boria is okay, but certainly the way things certainly feels that way.
And he's like, kind of looks Izzy over, and he's like, "You guys genuinely believe, don't you?"
Yes.
Look, we've heard and seen and done weirder stuff.
And he kind of like runs it over in his mulls it over in his head. He's like, "You gonna go to the glades?"
Is that where the blades are?
Yeah, the Wicked Glades are is down south here. He's He's like, "Oh yeah, well," kind of rummages around in his pocket and kind of like takes out like kind of like a medallion. Like kind of like it looks big enough to fit in the palm of your hand. It's kind of like a little bit larger, a bit larger than a gold coin, and it looks kind of like it's been pressed to have kind of like this imprint, as if it's kind of like if someone pressed it against cloth. Like it looks really detailed. It's like it just looks like this really warped coin.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Here, if you go to the glades, show one of the elders this. It'll at least get you in the door, so you can have a conversation. Because they don't exactly take kind to strangers, let alone people poking around asking to see those old books. But you want to read about the end of the world? Well, the darkening of the world, I guess."
Thank you.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, think nothing of it." And kind of like looks around and like can see like the time of day it is, kind of thing. And he's like, "Well, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go for a walk and clear my head before I go back and inevitably get yelled at by boss." So
Yeah, of course. No, thank you so much. We should probably head back too, right? Coda.
oh my god, I was dead.
Sorry, my mic was muted. Ugh! Didn't realize. Sorry. Yeah, like he'll kind of, I was thanking that dude, but I guess my mic was muted. Yeah, so yeah, he'll nod and say like, yeah, let's head back then.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, he kind of like nods and kind of like doesn't shake hands or anything. He's more just like, yeah, kind of just like walks off, like kind of like looks like he'll kind of hook around, and that if he follows that road, he'll probably come into one of the other entrances to Boria sort of thing. So
Okay.
yeah, but if you guys stroll back to the city,
Yeah, we'll head back.
Yep.
cool. Esme, before you lies a bloodied gnome. What do?
Esme screams back to Dave. It's like, "Okay, he's dead. Just keep the door closed."
Like as you're like he's dead, you just hear the woman scream like and then you hear like a thump, and then like a boom, like onto the ground.
Good
It's
job,
like,
Dave.
Oh my god.
Esme just starts like pulling at things on the body's pocket.
like you just see Dave kind of approach, and he's like, I put the blind down and locked the door. This is getting rather intense, Esme. You look
She
like
just
shit, by
turns
the way.
covered in blood, and she just says, "It's like, David, I'm not going to lie to you. Things are probably about to get a lot worse. That guy said he was going to get the watch, so let's get out of here quickly. We might need to escape out the back."
He's just like, okay. He just kind of like steps over Esme and the body, and was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
it's like-
back."
"Yeah, you go and see if you can secure a rear egress point. I'm going to search this body, Dave." And she just starts pulling at the body to find something, anything.
Yeah, give us an investigation. Esme, you find essentially like a money clip, but a small like fancy like tiny coin purse that just holds like 100 gold, and a some like a handkerchief, like a little tiny impromptu like cologne bottle kind of thing for like on the go topping up sort of thing. But you also find a very little iron key.
Does the handkerchief have his initials on it?
It 100% does.
What
And
are
are
the
those initials DT?
They are indeed.
Thank
As
fuck.
they grab it, she's like, well, that answers that question. Is there an upstairs, Aaron?
No, it just looks like it's kind of like a back office kind of thing, where they probably keep like documents and such. Well, like just glancing, Esme like kind of leaning forward and looking, like she can see like kind of like tables with like parchment on it and stuff.
Yeah, she is going to go in and she's just going to have a general look around the room, see what the pages are telling her. She's specifically looking for information on where his, like, basically if he is indicated anywhere, what are the dummy warehouses and what are the real warehouses.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, give me an investigation check. As you round the corner and like essentially see the room proper, like Esme starts like looking over the tables immediately, kind of like where's and Dave kind of points to this like gargantuan safe that's at the side of the room, like on the side of the room, and he's like, Esme, can you pick this? I'm not sure if we have time with the City Watch.
Is this a spin lock or is it is there a keyhole?
A keyhole.
Esme tries the iron key in it.
It opens.
What's behind the magic door?
Several bars of gold and like proper like ingot looking motherfuckers and a load of parchment.
Esme does the cartoon jaw drop eyes out at the gold. She grabs the nearest piece of parchment and she just like rolls it out to see what it says.
It's a map. The first one's a map of the city, and there's like weird red shaped dot kind of drawing sketch doodle thingies all over the city, but like no writing. It's just like a map of these red like kind of markings.
Esme puts the bag of holding on the ground, unties it to like open it out, and she says, Dave, we're going to put the gold and the parchment in here as fast as possible. So,
Esme, are we just robbing people? It feels like we're just robbing people, murdering them.
Well, like, Dave, help mommy
Esme,
rob!
are we bastards? This seems like something a bunch of bastards would do.
Esme just turns to Dave and she says, you didn't mind that much when we were killing the crooked clerics.
Yeah, just say it back to me. Like, say that out loud slowly to me. Oh, I'm sorry, Dave. Did killing the evil people upset you? But like, what did this guy do? You've been very vague on the whole thing.
Oh, well, we went to the Hand of Yuria and we went to the tower and we Isidora, because it wasn't me, got this girl drunk and got her to open up all of these vaults so we could get all of this information, and we got the information and we found out that these people were threats to like the resistance and to us, so we said let's just deal with them, get rid of the problems. Now Isidora, Coda and Risbit have gone off on some fucking road trip without me, and I said I'm not going to sit around here not doing any work, so I said we'd take care of this. Equally, these are bad people. They're getting resistance members killed. We're supposed to be pro-resistance. Like, I don't know I don't really know anything about the dead guy. Look, if you don't want to touch the gold, I'll just do this. But if you can leave after this one, the next one's an arms dealer. And she just starts shoveling the gold in and taking the parchment off the wall.
He's like, I'm going to stick with you too thick and thin. It's just, some context as to why we're shooting people and beating people and robbing people and, showing our faces to that dickhead who's probably going to go get the City Watch. It's just like...
I'd just like to know if we're being bastards.
Look,
yeah,
it's fine. We're all leaving the city soon anyway.
Yeah, he's like, I'll be a bastard. It's just, I prefer to know why I'm being a bastard.
Esme, in a moment of fourth wall breaking meta narrative says, I wonder if Batman has to deal with this shit from Robin. And then she continues to
Dave looks at Esme and he's like, no, because Robin's too much of a fucking pussy to say anything.
Oh great, you're Jason Todd. I hope you'll get killed. She just keeps shoveling the stuff in.
Just like superimposing the frame is just like a cutout of a seeker and a crowbar, and it's just like, oh, and it like runs off, and it's like, oh, that's dark.
Esme just says, it's like, I'm not thinking about that one. And she just finishes putting the stuff
Nice
in.
try. No siree.
She's just like, nice try, mother. No.
Yeah, you guys take like 20 minutes, like huffing these oaks, and you just hear like the door rattling. It's like, excuse me, ma'am, hello? Anyway, it's Hand of Yuria. Please open up.
Esme just looks at Dave. It's like, Dave, could you make us an exit, or is there a window? Because we're gonna have to go.
The second you say, "Can you make an exit?" he just like fires like something that is just like half like somewhat like
Just breaks a
like
fucking
he just it's a paperweight and like lobs it through a window, and he's like, "There we go. You go there. I'll be 2 seconds."
Esme just jumps out the window with them stuff.
Can I have an acrobatics to make sure you don't cut yourself up?
Oh yeah.
Dave walks around. Yeah, you like Esme, like, you know, like fucking perfectly. Dave leans around the corner towards the door, and he's just like, "Don't come in. I'm getting changed." And you just hear like a, and he's like, "Okay, let's go."
What did you do?
He's like, "Nothing."
Okay,
I just told him not
fine.
to come in.
She says, let's keep running. I think I know where this Sebek guy is hanging out.
Esme and Dave leap into the, Dave follows Esme through the window. Not as gracefully, he kind of cuts his cheek, sort of thing, taking a little bit of damage. But as they sprint through the alleyway, it's just like, Dave's just like, "Well, that went well." And he's like, "Yeah, it went really well."
Well, that innocent woman is dead now.
It's fine. She was dead already.
Sure, if that helps me sleep at night.
Listen, you are equally a murderer, so back off.
Oh no! Yeah, but I own it. I know I'm a murderer.
We're not. No, we are walking past that rabbit hole of just.
Esme just carries the bag of leftly clanking gold, and she's just like, "This has been a good day. I hope the next guy is as fun."
I mean, if it means is everyone we're gonna go to just be like Hand of Yuria bastards?
Yes, 100%.
Oh, fantastic!
Well,
Then I don't feel bad.
Do you know anything about the Tharas people, like Tharsden? Or anything about Tharsden?
Well, like the god of decay, Tharsden?
Yeah.
You know what? I kind of know like surface level stuff, but yeah, why do you?
So essentially, the Hand employed those people to help spread the like cultists to spread the disease that's been like the plague that's been killing people, and that was some of the stuff that we found out. So we are kind of running off the assumption that if they're all on the same list, they're all causing death or chaos and bad things. So our running theme was, let's just get rid of them.
Okay. Wow. Really? Wow, that's dark.
I know. And she I like to imagine that they're like walking down the alleyway, and she just looks at him and says like, "I know. I thought it was overkill too, but there we go." It's like
he's just like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Wow, now I really don't feel bad about killing these assholes. Fuck them." And like he kind of like peeks around the corner. He's like, "Okay, where to next?" kind of thing.
Where is Sebek hiding out?
Sebek is a merchant in the rich district. Rich district. Blech. Rich district.
Esme says, "We're going to go to my house and we're going to put down our stuff, and then we'll go and deal with Sebek."
Yeah, maybe you should take a rest.
Like, she just says, "It's like I need a short rest," but I'm 100% like, when we cut back to Esme next, she has had a short rest.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. Okay, Dave's like, that's cool. We'll catch our breath, have a drink of water, then go back to murdering pieces of shit. And then he's like, "Is it really murder if they're pieces of shit?" He's like, "No,
She
that's
says,
a tough
"No."
Yeah,
She
it is.
she says it is murder, but it's murder we're okay with.
He's
Don't
like,
ask about the nasty boys thing about that one though. That's kind of weird.
He's like, "That's fair," but yeah, essentially, like two things, Neil. One, like time passes, you guys get to the Nilo residence that is now vacant and is technically Esme's home. Like it's always been her home, but like it's now like her. She can have free reign with it. It's an empty house that she owns.
Did Tessa and Celeste leave as well, or are they just moved out?
No, they've moved out.
Right.
They don't care. But
Mansion
yes,
party.
yes, Esme, you can do two things. It's a short rest, so whatever. Like, you don't get spells back or anything because you're rogue.
She's just gonna
unless
roll hit dice.
Yeah, you can roll hit dice and then give me a survival check with advantage because in the rich district you kind of like grew up here, especially along the rooftops and such, being Esme. So yeah, do those rolls and we'll cut back to the others. Hold on.
Before you cut back, because it's like cinematic and I think it's funny. Like literally as they go through, like I just imagine the door is still on the floor and she just says, "Can you fix the door?" And then
he's like, I'll try, and he kind of like, puts a piece there and it's like mending, and then puts another piece like mending, and he's just kind of like slowly going about like mending the tiny little bits till like eventually it's fixed.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I just imagine her getting into.
I can't believe you've taken care of almost all of them.
Yeah, you've done 2 of the 3 we had left to do already. This is amazing.
Another asking question.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm kind of into it.
information.
It's good. I mean, like, some information would be nice,
I
but
mean,
equally-
murder is one thing, but it is always effective.
Information, though.
Information. I feel like we have almost all the information we get on these guys. Like, maybe 1 or 2 things would have been nice, but like, I don't think
Well,
there's
guys,
much to be
we are
gained.
in Boria, so get back to Boria.
So yes, Izzy, Coda, you guys walk up the steps of the town hall. Coda or Risbit's just been like doing idle animations for the last half an hour.
He's been
But yes,
cartwheeling and like high kicking.
yeah, exactly, yeah, like and doing.
He's
like,
just doing
secret
lunges
animation.
outside the town
Yeah,
hall.
it's like if you leave the camera at a certain angle, he does like a secret animation where he dances. Which you have to leave it for like 5 minutes. What's it? Over calling. Right. So yeah, you guys enter, and as you kind of like sit in the waiting area for 5 minutes, catching up with Risbit kind of thing, and then you hear like, "Well, I'm glad we came to that agreement. It's fantastic." And you see descending the steps are Mama and Papa Darrow, Arilda, the mayor, and Grax, the like city watch head.
Cody kind of like stands up nervously, looking at them like,
Hello.
Hello.
And I'm like, "Oh, hey," and like Garrett gets to the bottom of the stairs. He's like, "Oh, son, we're farmers now."
Farmers, really? What? Explain. Elaborate.
And like Lenny kind of steps on. I was like, "Yes, there." So we asked, could we our trade is smithing and all that jazz. Turns out the city's got quite a lot of smiths, and setting up a new smith shop is rather expensive, more expensive than we have them, kind of more than the city has. A nice compromise was that we would take some of the old farmers moved out. I think it was kind of a racial thing with the darklings, and like the mayor's like, "Hey," it's like, "Okay, cool, I'm saying that right, darklings." Yeah, it was a racial thing with them apparently. So there's like just like a nice cottage on the fields where like there's a bit of land that needs working, but like that's their main export. It's kind of like agriculture, and we're gonna work there for a while, save up some funds, and we might be able to get like a part of the barn converted into like kind of a makeshift shop, and we can kind of become like a farming and smithing kind of duo, and we'll build up from there. But it'll take some time. But yeah,
Well,
perhaps.
Perhaps doing a trade that you wouldn't be traditionally associated with is a good thing. Less easy to find it this way, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. And like Garrett's like, "Oh yeah, like I come from a kind of a farming kind of like rustic background, so it's nothing new for me to get back into the land. So I'm content. It's something different. Different can be good. It could be nice. It'll be quiet, and quiet. Given what was in the city, quiet sounds nice. So yeah, we just paid a little deposit. We're grand, and and he's like, "Yes, Grax." And Grax next one. It's like, "Yeah, no, I'm gonna send some boys over there now to just make sure everything's in order. Anything else that needs cleaning out is cleaned out, and it'll be ready in an hour or so, give or take. So yeah, just and she kind of like hands them like a city map, and it's kind of like it's over here, and kind of marks it out, and they're like, okay, that's cool, that's where we're going. And it's kind of just a general thing. And Grax is like, right, well, I'm gonna hop to that. No rest for the wicked. She like gives Erilda a little peck on the cheek, and she's like, I'll see you later, dear. And they're like, yeah, go do work. And Erilda's like, well, that concludes business. I haven't had a break yet. I'm just gonna go outside for a little smoke. And yeah, if you have any questions, you know where to find me. And like you see her take basically a fucking joint out of her pocket.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
she's
much
like,
for
yeah,
your
yeah,
help.
of course. No issue at all. Good to have you. Good to have you. She kind of like just strolls out to the back, like towards what you assume was like probably where the back door is.
I'll kind of turn to my parents when she goes, are you sure this is alright? This is quite a change.
Like, yeah, it's not 100% what we were hoping for, but yeah, it could be nice working on the land, change of scenery, change of pace, being positive about it, and like Gareth, yeah, again, as your mother said, it's not what we were looking for, but hey, we got some housing in a nice little cottage. Working on the field would be good to be like being back home. So yeah, it's all good.
I'm sorry it's not ideal, but it's better than Yuria.
Exactly, a nice quiet farmland. What could go wrong? It's not like a
Don't say
crazy
that. Don't
war
say
zone.
what could go wrong. I don't want to hear that. No.
As Garrett's like, what could go wrong? Like out of frame where the party members can't see it. You see Ball just like like moonwalking past the window, and he's like, yeah. But he's like, yeah, no, it'll be fine. You lot will probably have to be getting out to the city very soon, I'd imagine. We know where it is. We're adults. We can do the thing. We can move in. It's fine if you are in a hurry.
Kind of like look at his door, kind of like, I don't know.
Well, how about we wait? They said it's only be an hour, right? Why don't we wait until you guys are settled in, and then we can head off?
Yeah, cool. Sure, we can go get some food and relax and take a walk and slowly walk there, kind of thing. Take in the scene.
You should have a look at some of the art galleries. They're really quite lovely.
Why don't you show them around?
Yeah, he looks pretty pleased with this idea. Like as long as you're alright with waiting around for an hour.
Oh yeah, no, I gotta do.
Yeah, he kind of thanks her and goes off to do that thing.
Yeah,
I figured this is probably going to be the last time he sees them in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say you have something to do with Izzy, Amy?
Yeah, actually.
No, I was just making sure. That's definitely what I heard. Yeah, so Coda, you essentially take him from gallery to gallery, and you see all the stuff you see before. You see some of Vern's old stuff. You see an edition by Cass. You actually see a lot of stuff from Tim, the Darkling. His weird cubist stuff. It's really kind of scenic. A lot of it's depicting it seems to be workers in the fields kind of thing. Seems to be very much if it was drawn all from the one angle, probably from his room because Darklings can't go out in sunlight sort of thing. So yeah, it seems kind of very much the people working hard sort of series kind of thing with cubisty stuff. It's nice. It's cute. It's well received and yeah, it takes you guys a while, but it's nice. Coda has a nice while with his parents sort of thing, showing them around. They're they're enjoying it, they're loving it. They've always wanted to visit Boria, now they are, and it's pretty neat. They're content, they're happy. What do you want to do?
I assume the guild tents are still set up.
Yeah, 100%.
If whoever's around, actually, Beauregard around.
Not outside. Just case of would Izzy call him, or would it be case of just going?
No, if I can't he was just kind of my in. But if I can't see him, I'm just going to go up to the boss's tent, knock on a tent pole to see if anyone's in.
Oh, it's more a case of they've got extra tents set up outside a large building.
Oh,
So when like boss came out, it was a case of he like exited this kind of looked like maybe a converted tavern, kind of a large open spaces sort of thing, but like it's more like the tents were like to accommodate like the rookies that have all shown up. I'm like, I wanna like chance at glory kind of thing. But like Izzy essentially would have noticed that. So if she's like looking for the boss kind of thing, she probably would have like entered the tavern.
Yeah, no, she'll walk in and look around for him.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like as Izzy like walks through the ranks, it's like like there's a tapestry of individuals. Like some of them like pay Izzy no heed. They just probably another client looking for a job. It's all same old. Some of them are kind of like voguing, like they're trying to like lift weights kind of thing. It's like, yeah, I can lift great swords, like that sort of thing. Everyone's kind of like, and some people are like drinking and laughing. But when you go into the tavern, it's kind of like that. It seems to be a converted tavern more for like kind of mess hall purposes. Kind of like seems to be more for feeding more so than drink. You see people in the corner nursing like some drinks, but like behind the bar you can see most of the alcohol bottles and all have been removed, so they're probably nursing whatever's left.
Okay. If I see either Beauregard or Zaylin, I'll wave to them, but I won't like go over.
Yeah, like Bo's sitting behind like a table, like with a group of others, and Zaylin's nowhere to be seen. But like when Izzy kind of walks in, like from the back room, that probably is the kitchen if it's a tavern. Like you see, like boss kind of walks around the corner. He's kind of like checking like sheets, and he's like, and like that sort of thing. But like he's like entered the room, but hasn't noticed Izzy.
If he's like not like immediately talking to anyone or busy, she'll hail him.
Oh yeah, he's like just like looking over like a load of sheets, kind of like okay, yeah. But like when Izzy hails him, he's like, oh yeah, and he like kind of looks up and he's like, what can I do for you?
I've been thinking about your offer actually, and while it's still a no from me, I was actually wondering if I might talk to you about getting you a bit of work.
He's like, oh, go on.
And like, if there's anywhere to sit, she'll like sit down and talk to him.
Yeah, there's like still bar stools and stuff.
She'll say, now it's not happening now or anything, but in a little while, myself and my friends are going to go over to Orion on the coast. They're having a bit of a giant problem.
A giant problem.
I don't.
What?
Giants.
Oh.
Now, I don't know if you guys are interested, but once we get there and scope out the situation, we might need a bit of backup. Is that something you might be interested in?
Oh yeah, I haven't killed a giant before. I'm up for that. And like
Great.
as he says that, he kind of like hushes himself. He's like, yeah, no. I'll keep that on the down low, but yeah, no, it's as long as you swing through Boria when you're heading to Orion and pick us up. If we've got, free hands.
That'd be great to hear. I just thought I'd mention it, and of course, make sure we're duly rewarded. But yeah, I just thought we're probably going to head out of town soon, and I just wanted to mention it to you before we left.
He does, and he's like, I appreciate it, and you are...
Oh, Isidora Tanner. She holds her hand out to shake.
And he's like, well, Miss... Yeah, he like takes it and shakes it, and he's like, well, Miss Tanner. Yeah, no, that's good. I'm interested, and I'm sure some of the members will gladly follow you to Orion to do such a thing.
Good to hear. So when the time comes, I'll be in touch. Thanks so much for hearing me out.
Yeah, he's like nods, and he's like, oh, I'll look forward to it.
And I'll bid him well and head out.
Cool, yeah. Right. We'll whiz back to dearest Esme. Esme. It takes you a little while. It's kind of getting late. It's kind of like 5, maybe 6 in the evening. A lot of the rich district has a lot of towering buildings, so it's kind of like you kind of gets darker quicker because they block out the sun, sort of thing. Their fucking egos get in the way. But yeah, as Esme navigates the streets, knowing full well roughly where she's going, it's like, is it this street? But not getting lost. She notices that there's an increase in patrols and such, and the towers are looking around, but no one kind of pays her any attention. But yeah, you eventually come to a building to be the address of this lovely Chebek Nancha. It's like the Nancha Emporium.
One sec.
Yep.
So yeah, so it's a shop, like it's a standard shop.
Yeah, it looks like it's like a shop in the rich district. It's quite large, but it looks like it's you get pretty much everything and anything in here.
Out of character, we were told there was stuff downstairs, right? Like a hidden basement or something?
The info you were given was merchant in the rich district, a sleeper agent of some kind, personal vault in the building contains dormant technology in case of a siege.
She's just gonna do the usual. She's just gonna like walk around, case the place, and see if there's like basically what entrances there are.
Yeah. Give me an investigation check.
Is this place open?
It's probably going to close very soon. While Esme does that, we will whiz back Coda. Izzy, it is essentially like you guys accompany the Darrows to their cottage.
Mm-hmm.
You are like brought inside by Grax and her watch people. It's nice. It's a one-story building. It's spacious enough. The kitchen's large. The bedroom's quite big. There's kind of a small sitting room area. It's got the essentials. It's nice. It's kind of like a little bit dusty, probably because it hasn't been got a replacement owners anytime soon. But the land is nice. They have a large barn for like animals or whatever kind of like whatever agriculture they kind of want to dip into, so to speak. But they've got some fields. They've got some corn growing, and like it kind of doesn't look like it's in the best condition again from neglect. But Garrett and Lenny are like, like Garrett more so than Lenny is more like, we can fix this up. Like it's like a couple of days of proper care in that corner, we'll be back straight on the proper path sort of thing. So it's a case of you guys have a nice time, and like they seem content, and they're like, it's not much, but it'll be home, and then in a while it'll definitely be home, that sort of thing.
Well, I hope you're happy. This is a lovely town, and it hopefully won't be forever that you won't be able to, do what you love. I hopefully be able to figure something out.
It'll take time, dear, but we'll get back on our feet. It's fine. It's just a minor bump in the road, but no, it seems like a nice city. The mayor's friendly. The city or the watch leader is friendly. The locals. It's got nice art. It's got nice. The landscape is lovely, and they kind of both gesture to like the rows upon rows of fields and other cottages and other farms. Like, it's nice. It's just not Yuria, but we're content. We're happy to be alive and well. So to new beginnings.
Don't worry about home and the shop, and I'll take care of all that. I won't let anything happen.
It's okay. Take your time. It's you and Kit will work it out, and if you need to close up shop, if it's easier and just kind of like rent it out as like living space, that's fine. But don't stress yourself out too much.
Well, I'll just hold out hope that someday you can, if you want to, you'll have the option of going back.
Of course. Well, let's not jump to any. Let's just live here in the now. And, we're farmers now. That's kind of an odd. The Darrow farm. That's funky. It's got a nice ring to it.
You're far more optimistic than I am. Sorry.
Well,
it is actually a surprise. Like, where did it? Like, why? Where did it come from? Why didn't it get passed on?
They kind of hide their like smirks, but they're like, well, being miserable about the fact that like okay, we can't work in our preferred trade, and we have to like kind of get up and leave, and we were attacked by gigantic reptiles. Yeah, but complaining and being miserable about it isn't going to change the fact that we're here in the now with our own plot of land, much more land than we've ever owned. So just gotta make the best of it and go from there.
Well, I admire your attitude to the whole thing, so I really do hope you're happy here. I do. And don't worry about Kit either. I won't everything's gonna be fine.
And it's like, they're like, yeah, no, just be careful, dear. At the end of the day, if it's you and him or the shop, let the shop burn. Realistically, come on.
Oh, I hate to think it, but yeah, I know.
Like, yeah, they're both kind of like, it'll be okay, dear. Just one step at a time. We'll grow some grass. We'll sell some corn. It'll be interesting. It'll be new. You never know. We could grow to really like it. Like Lenny's like, it's something different. I guess it's a new challenge. And Garrett's like, yeah, no, it'll be challenge. We'll see how it goes.
Well, I'll try to write as often as I can. I'm hoping I can more now that you're not in Yuria and the letters aren't being, monitored by ICM and all that.
Well, try send a letter when you're out and about with Alex. Maybe sending letters from Dead Man's Haven or like one of the neighboring cities would be safer than sending it directly from the city, you know?
As far as the city's concerned, you're gone. So, there'll be no more mention of your name there. Not for now. Just safer this way. And I am sorry it turned out this way.
Dear, we're alive. We're not dead. All things considered, especially with that city, that's you know, they keep apologizing. Would you prefer we stayed for the sake of keeping the shop and perished?
No, not at all.
Well, there you go. You don't have to be sorry for anything. We're alive. You did good. You got us to safety. Thank you. You don't have to be sorry. Relish in the small victories, Icarus.
Yeah, Icarus.
Yes, alright.
Shut up, you!
Kay descends from the clouds and he's like, oh!
He kind of like puts hands like, I can see I'm very outnumbered. Yeah, alright, yes. Small victories. Here's to new beginnings.
Exactly, it's new beginnings, and they kind of bring Coda in for a hug, and they're like, right, dear, there's only so much standing around and new beginnings and standing around like a bunch of, forgive the elven, bunch of assholes. We need to get back out on the road, and we need to, And Garrett's just like, yeah, I know, we'll start farming in the morning, fuck that. We're gonna light the fire and go to bed.
We're gonna consecrate the house if you know what I mean.
Every room.
Coda leaves.
Listen, they've had kids in the house for how many years?
Oh yeah, 100%. The neighbors are going to be like, "Jeez."
Oh god, yeah, 26 years. Yeah, yeah.
They need a TV in that house. My god. But yeah, no, like it's a case of you guys find yourselves at the, like, you know, hugs and kisses are given. The sun is setting. It's a case of like you reckon, you know, with your water steeds, if you like set out tonight, it's clear. It's clear night sky. Reckon like with your water steeds, you can kind of like ignore difficult terrain, so you can take more like a beeline to the entrance kind of thing. You get to Yuri in a couple of days, not much.
I kind of like ask Izzy if she has anything else left to do here, or if she's good to go.
No. As much as I hate to admit, we really need to get back to Yuria.
Not looking forward to it, but you're right.
No.
I mean, I shudder to think what Esme's been doing since we've been gone.
Oh, don't even get me started. I've been having nightmares.
We're going to come back and the city's going to be on fire.
It's just the whole thing's going to be burnt.
The
to
entire
ground.
city.
Mm-hmm. She'll just like set the whole thing ablaze. Listen. I don't really get this whole thing, and she gestures back to the Darrows' new home. But I know this is really hard for you. You're doing the right thing, and they're gonna be okay. You know that.
Well, thank you for saying it. I keep trying to tell myself that, but it's hard to believe and everything the way it is. But thank you.
I mean, it's Yuria, right?
There's no hand presence here yet, and hopefully there won't be if we can stop the spread.
Alright, let's head back and make sure that happens.
Good plan. We saddle up our water horses.
Uh-huh.
You ride out into the night. Icarus Darrow.
Yes.
A D100.
Oh, God.
Esme. You spy a similar layout to the other buildings. It's kind of like a main entrance, probably a back door that leads to an alleyway kind of thing.
Is the back side essentially? Yeah, fuck it. She's got a. Is Dave with her?
Yes, I'm assuming so because you didn't ask to go alone.
Yeah, no. That's
Okay,
yeah.
okay, cool.
Cool. She just says, "Let's see if we can sneak in the back way, make a slightly quieter job of this one." And she says to him, "I know you've been doing a lot of stressful power stuff today, but there's the potential that this time we don't need to kill him. He doesn't know who he is. He's a sleeper agent. We might be able to just leave him as is. We just need to get the weapons out of his house."
He's like, yeah, no, that's fair.
But if he she
But is a sleeper agent not someone who's just really, really deep?
It's basically, well, like, I think
could
it's
be.
a case of there's variations, but like in this sense, the file would have been like basically someone who 110% comes across as like person A, but the second shit hits the fan, it's like, oh, I've actually been a highly trained killer the entire time.
Oh, okay.
I've been giving the signal to.
They're aware, they're conscious of it. They're not like, they use a
yeah.
trigger word and they're suddenly activated kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
like I know again, it's a case of like sleeper agent's like a really broad ass term. Like I think that's a variation, but the file was very much like all at face value, like this person's living arrangements, demeanor, everything about them is they are a merchant in the rich district and have been that for a while. But actually, they're like a highly trained, mechanist, sympathizer. Like probably got some god knows what knife up their boot kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
So I 100% was thinking of it more in line with it's not that they're a robot. It's like, but they're a robot and they don't know they're a robot or something like that, where they are conditioned 100% to not know who they are. And then the minute is like, I've been activated. Then they know. But
no, I get you.
She's gonna 100%. She's taken it as we're gonna try sneak in and basically do this without having to kill the man. But equally, if we do, if it comes to it, we'll just take him out.
Yeah, that's cool. Give me those stealth checks. Yeah. Coda, as you and Izzy ride, and so does Risbeth.
We are not riding, how dare you?
I mean, I was going to finish my sentence, but yeah, sure, you can definitely make the joke that you guys, like Coda, had intercourse with a 7-year-old robot. Go for it, buddy. I mean...
No, I'm good. Actually, thanks.
No, you're good? Yeah, you're good?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
You don't want to stop the game to make another joke?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. What 3 things eat us?
In the sky that night. Dave's like, you gotta stop doing that, man. Is that like a kick?
Ooh, nice, Esme.
Across the sky, across the sky, 3 red streaks of light travel westward.
Like comets kind of thing? Like what do they look like, shooting stars?
The light trail is yellow and orangish.
Would this be like a phenomenon we've ever seen before?
You would have probably read about, or at least maybe seen. Well, you would have at least read about shooting stars, but you can't remember the last time you saw 3 streaks like this, like in unison, traveling across the sky like this, heading west.
West from where we are, like this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like kind of towards the deep fort and like Laureate's cave sort of area.
Yeah, that kind of general area over here.
Like,
Okay.
these just look like comets or what?
Yeah, they could be comets, like
Is there
that
any way
kind
to
of
roll
comet.
like a skill to see if we can figure out what they are, or I guess it would be too
Nature, to see if
Nature.
they're part of the natural world. Esme, you sneak perfectly. You hop the wall quietly. You land like an agile ghost. And can I have a
Not one of those
a lock
clumsy
picking
ghosts.
check? Yeah, those silly bastards. Yeah, Izzy, you would know. Also, Esme, you can roll thieves' tools with advantage due to the fact that like you're sneaking so well, you can kind of afford to take your time. Izzy, you know these would be like they certainly seem like comets, but at the front of the trail, you can't see any like shape that could indicate like an actual comet thing, like an object. It just seems to be like a streak of light, 3 of them in unison, kind of thing. They
Okay.
look oddly like claw marks, but you can't put your finger on it. Kind of, you're like, is it? It's more just like a trick of the light, probably.
Okay.
Esme, you successfully pick the lock. Dave congratulates you. The door swings open.
Any just what the immediate inside looks like?
1 sec, I'm stuffing my face.
That's okay.
Can I also ask just a side question, Darren, quickly?
Shoot.
Would it be okay to say that, like, since I have my portable forge, that I could be inventing some of these nights on the road?
If you want to, yeah. What do you
Cool.
think?
Okay. I don't really have. I can do some rolls another time. I just like more thinking of like how we can figure out how many days or nights I would be able to do it or something. Like and
Yeah.
figure that out. Maybe like don't have to do it now. Just
Yep.
like at some point. I just want to declare that it's something I'd be doing.
Well, if you guys are riding like beelining to this entrance here, probably take you about like maybe 3-4 days.
Yeah. Would I have had any chance on the way there as well?
Yeah,
I assume it
probably
would.
Okay.
like when you're resting that night. Not
Like I
when
know we
you're,
were attacked and stuff in the road. Like so, there would probably be some nights where I wouldn't. But like if you want to figure out how many days I'd get a chance to, and I can roll them at some point during the week.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on the exact
Cool.
number.
Thank you.
Esme, you sneak into what looks like a what seems to be like kind of like a back office room. Like there's kind of a wide, long glass window facing the back, kind of like yard, not yard, but kind of like you throw trash kind of area, wait for the dump or the trash guys to come along, that sort of thing, and like into the alleyway. But you creep in, and Dave is like right behind you, like following you move for move kind of thing. But like it seems to be kind of like a table, and there's like some documents sprawled out on it. There's nice carpets everywhere, to muffle your feet. And yeah, it kind of looks like cabinets and drawers, and it kind of looks like a makeshift kitchen / office. It's kind of like a weird hybrid. It's kind of wonky. You can't quite put your finger on what its original like use probably was, but someone seems to be making use of it for like just like I don't know, writing on parchment and stuff. There is a single door leading out of the room.
She'll just cast a very cursory eye over the documents that are there. There's just to see if there's anything like immediately of note. So she's not looking for shipping manifestos or anything like that. But if it's just because I kind of know how she would think, because I should. But she's like, if she sees blueprints for something or a map, something that's more visual than it is text.
Yeah,
try and take note of it. But she's aware. It's like I actually don't want to be here, so I'm gonna do this quick.
No, it looks more like like James ordered this, and Jane ordered this. It seems to me more like a ledger and like tiny orders and stuff.
she's going to actually. She does want to kind of have a. No, she won't. She's going to sneak to the door and kind of open it quietly as possible.
I'm going to need another sneak check for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Esme, you slowly creak the door open, and you can see you are behind a counter. There is a... Hold on, let me confirm this. A dragonborn lady in robes, kind of like a flamboyant pantaloons and such, standing at the counter, kind of like, just leaning on it, kind of like, just tapping her finger, kind of like, oh, God, last, 20 minutes, please, nobody come in, I want to lock up, that sort of thing. And she's kind of like doing it, and she's kind of like, putting her weight on the counter, and she's like, just chilling, but she has not noticed Esme. The room kind of looks like an absolute clusterfuck. It's more like an everything and anything shop, but kind of like nice. Like all the materials hanging are like, the shawls are really high quality. There's like random necklaces dangling from stuff. And like it looked like, just from a glance, they kind of look like, they're probably worth a bit and, made from high quality. It seems to be more like a everything and anything oddity shop, but for more like rich people, that sort of thing.
Is there any visible staircases down?
No, there is.
Go ahead. It's just in like from where she's like doing the usual like sneak and peek. She's just having as much as she can currently see. Does she see any staircases?
There is one to the left, seems to like lead upstairs. But from the rest of where she's glancing through the door, it just looks to be like a counter and a shop floor sort of thing. If you want to like pull up some of the carpets that are in the room that you're just like kind of like technically sitting in, peeking from, investigation.
Are they? Well, this is the question. Are they? Is it fully laid carpet or
No,
is it
like random nice rugs everywhere? Sorry, rugs is probably the better word to use. I apologize.
She's going to try and close that door again just while she's there.
Yeah, cool.
Do you need me to sneak again, or is that?
Yes, please.
Yeah, cool.
Esme like silent as a mouse. Like Dave is kind of like keeping his distance because he knows like him being right up beside the door is kind of like bad call for being quiet. So he kind of like thumbs up, and Esme like closes the door and thumbs up, and he's like, "Okay, what are we doing?"
100%, 100% for aesthetic. Esme and Dave probably have not spoken a word aloud since they've gotten into the room.
Oh yeah, 100%.
She just thinks at him and starts doing it herself. Check under the rugs for a door or like something to like let us downstairs. And she's got to do that. Investigation, was it?
Yes. Esme is like checking under the rugs and like relays to Dave, like check under the rugs, kind of thing. And he's like, okay, and you both kind of go about it quietly and taking your time. And Esme doesn't kind of find anything, and she's like, ugh, and throws one like not one back down, but lets it lie down. And like when Dave is like walking, he's like creeping, kind of like solid snake style. He's like, yeah, no, I couldn't find anything here. And when he like kind of turns on his heel to kind of like, I'll check the presses. Like you hear like a creak, and when he looks down, it seems like one of the floorboards that are exposed kind of wiggles the smallest bit.
She says, she notices it. So what do you need? She like goes over to investigate it further. So it's an investigation again, yeah.
Yeah, Esme kind of like with a dagger and with some flourish. She's jimmied things open a little bit with the dagger before she knows what she's doing. Takes some time, and Dave kind of like is watching Esme, but keeping on like kind of looks up over the counter, looks at the because you guys are kind of hidden at the moment by the kind of like island table countertop. It's in the center of the room. Kind of looks up, like he crouches up slightly and like looks at the door and keeps going, and it's just he's keeping watch. But Esme jimmies this thing open and slowly slides this piece of like small bit of wood, like the size of an iPhone, that kind of the dimensions in terms of length and thickness or width. Sorry, but jimmies it up, and when she jimmies it up, there is a metal plate about 3 inches down, and there is what looks like a keyhole for probably a very complex key there's like weird like slots and slits and kind of like it's a really funky shape. But it's blatantly a keyhole because when Esme looks down, like she can see like it's going deep into like a tumbler kind of thing. So yeah, there seems to be some really fucking weird ass, possibly mechanical. It certainly looks weird like the previous mechanical like contraption locks that Esme has both encountered on that junkie rescue mission she did that one time, and equally just in adventures with Coda and stuff. You kind of be like, oh, this looks really fancy.
Yeah, she is. She'll do a once over of the room to see if the key, or like just basically see, like, are any of the. Oh, such a good song. Are any of the are any of the drawers locked or anything? So that like is basically she's gonna search for the key in here first.
Yeah, once investigation.
Yep.
Dave is kind of like doing the same thing, and like you both kind of come to the conclusion that like, oh, most of these presses are empty, bar for some writing utensil, spare parchment. Like this place is like pretty much hollow out.
Yeah, she like one of those things is like, I expect this. She's gonna sneak back over to the door. She's gonna try and open it again and have a look at the dragonborn.
Yeah, sneak. Jesus. Yeah, no. Yeah, like
Nice.
silent as a mouse. Esme, can you give me a perception check with advantage because you kind of like are silent and have time to look this lady up and down with like, you know, time and detail. Or not detail, like thoroughness. You can't see much. Her clothes and her jewelry is really nice. Like her rings alone are probably worth a fuckload. But like as she kind of turns, kind of like, oh, I should probably like start locking up the place. Kind of turns, and you see on her right hip that on just like kind of between her like right back pocket and her like just her normal pocket in her pants, dangles this really weird kind of like bronze key. It's got really weird slits and like bits jutting out from it. It looks really fucking like arbitrary and weird.
Yeah. So, can you just? What side of hers am I currently on? Like, if she was standing beside me, what side would I be on?
You are on her left.
Cool. And if she was to get out from behind the desk, what way would she move? Would she basically be passing by walking towards me, or would she be passing to go away from me?
She would be walking away from you. She kind of like, you know, the countertops that you lift up, the kind of like L wenches or a bracket wench, whatever.
Yeah,
those thingies. Yeah, to lift it up. And if she's going to like lock up, I'd imagine like you can hazard a guess that she's going to walk straight ahead to the front door to kind of like lock it up and kind of like lower the blinds and be like flip the sign around. It's like, oh, we're closed. You know, come back tomorrow at like 10 p.m. That sort of thing, or 10 a.m. Sorry.
Yeah. Esme is just going to wait to see if she goes to do that. She'll give it like she'll give it a minute at least, 2 minutes max before she'll try and do something else. She thinks at Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, so actually, this is needlessly complex. Does the door open out towards the shop or in towards the room we're in? We're coming.
Oh, the door you're at, or the
door we're at.
It opens in towards the room you're in.
Cool. Esme thinks to Dave, move closer to the door. I'm going to attempt to slide this off her and then teleport back into the room. Can you close it as I come back in, kind of thing?
He like, you know, nods and then thinks like, yep, you got it, you do your thing. I'm here.
So she is ready to go.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, is Esme gonna wait for the woman to come back, or is she just gonna like, you know?
Oh no! once the woman starts to move, like basically has her back to Esme and is moving away from her, Esme's going to sneak forward and try and sleight of hand it off her.
Yeah,
off her booty.
then do that for me, buddy. Sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
With a flourish and fluid movement that is the signature Esme Nilo style, you unhitch the key, and the woman does not notice. She walks forward.
The minute it's in her hand securely, she turns and teleports like back into the other room.
Yeah, that's cool. Like a puff of smoke. And she's gone.
Yeah, she like bounds over towards the thing, and she knows that like she has a second, before like she has like literally seconds before this starts to go kind of pear shaped.
Yeah.
But she still takes a full moment to write "with love from the nasty boys" on the desk, like on a parchment on the desk. She just scribbles it out as legibly as possible before just bending over and like turning the key in the lock.
You cut out what boys? Is it nasty boys?
Yeah, she just says "with love from the nasty boys."
Okay, cool. Yep. She turns, slides the key in. Like it takes her a couple of seconds to kind of like line it up because like this shape is just completely weird. But she turned it, and like as silent as Esme's been, the floorboards retract and stares before her.
Esme like she's gonna take the key out. Like, can she take the key out, or is it like and keep them open, or does it?
Oh no, Esme can take the key out if she wishes.
Yeah, Esme gonna take the key out, and she just indicates for for Dave to come back with her.
Yeah, cool. Do you mean like descend the steps with her?
Yeah, to basically come down with her. Yeah.
Cool. Esme descends the steps. The room is ice cold, mainly because it probably hasn't been opened in a while. And kind of dusty kind of smell to it. But Esme descends the winding staircase and comes to what looks like a rather large steel door. It looks very exotic, giant, thick, like metal rods clearly hold this lock in place. But there is an equally funky lock keyhole on this door.
She's gonna try that key on that door.
This, it twists and turns, and these metal pistons are not the quietest. They kind of like grate and screech.
Yeah, she's not trying to be quiet. She's like,
oh no. That's just I'm just saying, like in contrast to the original opening, which was like silent as fucking ever. These open, and like it takes like about 5 or 6 seconds for it to open fully, but like you hear like and like as if like the air pressure's changed in the room before. And the door swings slightly open, and allowing Esme to push it open and proceed forward if she wishes.
She does so.
In the room ahead of Esme, with her dark vision, she can see like walls lined with like blades of all sorts and shapes and sizes, like long swords, great swords, like basically anything you need to like kit out a pretty solid squadron or two, maybe even a platoon pretty fucking quick. It's like, you know, the crossbows on the walls are like metal and like have got several arms and like wires. They look really advanced. Like no one walking around Yuria has this stuff, that sort of thing. There's crates upon crates, and like when Esme kind of cocks one open and has a gander, they're really, really solid, state of the art, like arrows. Like they look like they are like have been like almost machine, like we would know it to be like machine produced with like that kind of accuracy. Like the shape of the arrows look like they're like tree pointed, like triangle shaped, so they're clearly designed to maim and like just be almost pretty much just cruel in their design. They're not designed for like, haha, I've defeated you with my amazing skill. It's, haha, I've opened up a tree-sided wound that you can't patch up in your arm, you're gonna die, that kind of thing. But the thing that catches Esme's eyes most is the tall humanoid shapes at the back of the room that are lining the back walls.
Fuck. Okay. He's going to grab like a handful of those like arrows, like a D10 of the maiming arrows.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Sure. Roll me a D10 there and we'll see how many you get. A D10 plus 2.
Yeah. Cute.
Wow, yeah, sweet. 10. You get 10. I'll send you stats. They all have stats and stuff. I'll give it to you when it's appropriate. Like pretty much, like probably not tonight, but probably tomorrow when I've had sleep.
No, don't worry about it. But she does that, and then she goes a bit closer to these other yokes.
They look like really, really fleshed out suits of plate armor. They've got like that weird cone, almost kind of like beak-like shape to them. Esme can see what looks like pipes coming up out of the shoulder and just pointing upwards, skywards. It just abruptly stops, like about maybe like several inches above the helmet, that sort of thing. Because these things are quite tall, like maybe 8 feet tall. They're not facing her, like they're facing towards her, like they're kind of lined in like kind of a passive position. But these things look dense, heavy, and like the elbow joints are pretty thick and meaty. They're not just like standard plate. Like these things look kind of like Warforged joints, that sort of thing.
Esme, how many of them are there?
12. They seem like what you're thinking. Yeah, like they're like positioned against the wall, but they look like they're on these like little like wheelie board thingies, so they can like kind of be pulled out and spun around, kind of thing. Because they don't look like they open from the front.
Yeah. So this is human sized.
Yeah, just very tall. Like in game statistics, it would probably trigger and make a medium creature seem like a large, just from like the friggin' size, like the kind of denseness of it all.
Are there any like explodable materials here?
Give me an investigation check.
Yep, will do.
Esme, you crack open one of the small crates underneath, like one of the shelves has kind of been tucked away. It's really small, kind of like the same size as like a printer, maybe like a regular Canon printer. Those kind of like small, chunky black boxes. And when you pull it up, you see like vials of what looks like alchemist fire. Like it certainly looks like the same kind of material, but it seems to be kind of encased slightly different.
Cool. She is. Remember we talked about earlier saving the good lantern oil?
That's fair.
She is going to put that box up by like the top. She's got to pop the lid off maybe one of the bottles. Okay, hold on. Just she'll do an int check if she has to, because I don't want to do this and like explode it in her hands. But her thinking is she can pop open one of the bottles, pour the contents on the floor, and then pour a line of lantern oil from that towards the door. Light the lantern oil, it'll like kind of like a fuse, it'll go up, and then the contents of the spilled bottle will will work as standard, and it will like explode the box and explode everything. It won't, like, if she opens the bottle, it's not going to explode on her and set her on fire, is it?
Yeah, no, she can open it.
Cool. She does exactly that, puts the bottle there, puts the stack of bottles or whatever, pours alchemist fire around it, pours as much of the rest of the alchemist fire out towards the door, grabs her lantern oil, pours that out towards the door, and she basically lights it and like closes the door, not slowly, but kind of like not so quick as to put out the fire kind of thing, but also quick enough so that they have time to get out.
Yeah,
I get you. Kind of goes to the
She's
stairs and like flicks the light kind of towards it.
pretty, yeah. Well, she's more. So what she's going to do is they're going to close over the door, like almost completely closed, she'll light the thing, completely close it, lock it, and then she's gonna just say, "It's like, let's keep the key," and she says, "Let's peg it. Let's go. Let's get back to my house. We will stay there for the night. Let's go."
Yeah, that's cool. As Esme like kind of climbs the staircase and it starts to burn. Like again, I'm gonna say you're climbing the staircase at a reasonable rate. It's not a case of like stealth has been like removed from the vehicle.
Yeah, no, she's not stealthing out of here. She knows it's about to.
Yeah, that's fair. When Dave and Esme get to the back door, that door swings open and it's like this dragonborn, and she's like, "Who are you?"
You drop this, and she throws the key to her, and then she runs off.
She's like, "What the?" And the entire building is just engulfed in fire. Esme, can I have a dex saving throw, please?
Oh yeah.
That was amazing.
Nice. Esme, you are reduced to 1 health as you fly back from this gargantuan explosion. It's a case of it's like boom, 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 and then the entire building is just no more. This thing just goes up, and you and Dave like are essentially running. It's like, oh god, get away from the explosion. All of a sudden, you are just like smashing through a window from this force and like crushing into a wall. And same with Dave. Dave is like just completely smashed into a building, and like both of you like hit a wall and collapse onto some floorboards. And like you hear Dave like just kind of like let out like it just not a screech, but just kind of like a, oh fuck me kind of like ugh. And you see him like spit blood all over the ground, and he's like fuck. And you hear footsteps rummaging around, given what just happened, and we'll leave it there.
No.
I'm proud of you. You did real good.
Yeah, that was amazing. You got 3.
Like 7 days away.
2 or 3.
In terms of timeline, if it helps, when Esme lights that explosion, the party will be arriving at Yuria.
Oh god.
What?
So we'll walk in and just see the place explode.
All of that other stuff I did.
What is that noise? Yeah, you have to tell us what else you did.
And we walk in and see an explosion. It's just like, oh god.
I said we'd split screen back and forth, but I didn't say they'd be happening simultaneously.
Yeah.
Esme, with like, I just kind of imagine while she's like lying on the floor, she just says, "Are you guys here yet? There's a fire and I'm very weak." And then she won't go unconscious, but I just feel like she won't respond to the ring. For
Yeah, they'll be like, wait, what happened? And then she's like, yeah, like they're trying to like, what's happening? What's like they're trying to ask, and she's like, no, I'm not answering. No.
If it were a video game, Esme would be playing that token level in every video game where like the protagonist and their witty sidekick both get damaged enough that like it's entire level is them like holding onto each other's shoulder and like walking through an exploding building kind of thing.
Having some witty banter back and forth, yeah.
Yeah, it's like one person moves and the other person's like barely holding up a pistol to hit like the enemies, that kind of thing.
Rad.
Darren.
Yes. Hello.
With what little strength Esme has left, can she put on the Queen of Hags tiara, disguise her face?
You may.
She does that. Not that it is going to help when she gets arrested because they will remove it, but I don't know. Maybe it will help if she has a chance to run away.
That's fair. Yeah, no. That building is like straight up like it was a building, and now it's just like a ball of fire that like bricks are flying from.
So that's 2 out of 3 buildings. That's okay.
Yeah, that's the list.
And 7 fuckers.
Yeah, that's the list done. You want to take it off, Neil? You can do the honors.
Oh, sorry.
I'll get on to it.
Okay, never mind.
No,
we should archive it as well, so it's off the list, and just be like, yeah.
I'm thinking that I'm thinking that was a lot.
I can't believe like the last 3 sessions have been oh yeah, we'll be very careful about what we're doing about these, and now it's just like nope, gone.
I mean, it worked out. It went pretty well, I think.
It did. It went very well.
I'm proud of mostly Neil, but we did some too, I guess, maybe.
I still think we could I'm still not sure about the whole Kazura thing, but
I 100% think that I think that similar to all of the documents that she piled into her bag from Durand Tinklefoot's house.
Yeah.
I think that black diary that was left there with nothing in it 100% has stuff in it and we just can't see it.
Oh yeah, like hidden message.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And I feel
definitely.
like that's everything that we could get out of him. And I feel like
Yeah.
That's fair.
I
Yeah,
feel like what happened is she, like, by going to the house, you interrupt someone who was doing something. The person who was basically getting rid of all of the stuff, and they didn't get away with the journal like they wanted to because they
Yeah.
didn't want to get caught, and that's not going to take.
I'd say we have a
Okay,
good bit to
that's
work
fair,
with.
that's
Yeah,
fair.
I think we did pretty
You
good.
know, when we take a look at the documents in this journal, I think it'll help. So,
I mean, it assumes that Esme doesn't die in prison, but sure.
We're coming to help. You.
we'll
Don't worry, bud.
cross that bridge when we get to it.
Okay, I gotta get up in the morning, so I'm gonna stop the stream now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay, good
fair.
night,
Good
stream.
night. Good night.